We're back at Invisalign Arena where it is senior night for NC State and North Carolina. Chris Lehman alongside Grace Mottau as we get set for the final home game of the season for NC State. And Grace, it's going to be an interesting one tonight. Before we get into this game, take a look back at the last road trip for NC State of the regular season against Louisville. They went up to Kentucky and split 2 games with the Cardinals last weekend.
And we saw in the second game, and we talked to goalie Ethan Roberts about how it was difficult bus ride just to get there, and that has to do a lot with how you play. I mean, it's hard to get on the bus and even to get off. I mean, that's a really long bus ride, and he was saying that kind of translated to their play. They had bus legs, but they bounced back in their second matchup, and we saw that there was a flurry of goals back-to-back. They didn't give Kentucky any time to reset after each goal.
Yeah, Reese Johnson, a very productive game in that 8-1 victory over the Cardinals. He had a hat trick in that contest. But yeah, bus legs are a real thing. I remember having a coach when I was in high school who required us on weekend trips. You had to be there the night before so that you didn't have those car legs that you had to deal with. And it sounds like it was a tight fit on the bus, which made things a little bit more difficult. And as a result, with the split, NC State does end up with the 2 seed heading into the M1 ACCHL playoffs. But this game here tonight will be the final matchup of the regular season for NC State and UNC. Supposed to happen a couple weeks ago, though. We had a Friday night matchup, and unfortunately, a really unique situation, a power outage and a snowstorm incoming forced us to postpone.
And you have to hand it to the fans. We saw them outside really waiting for the power to come back on. I feel like we all were waiting for the power to come back on, but that did not affect them at all. We have a huge crowd behind us, and Coach Healy informed us that the most tickets for students were sold tonight.
Yeah, somewhere in the range of 600 students. That's about half of what is an estimated 1,200 capacity crowd here tonight will be students, so it should be a fantastic atmosphere. And NC State feels pretty confident. They mentioned beat Kentucky on senior night, so they feel pretty good about senior nights as far as tonight goes.
And, you know, NC State is coming off a huge dominant win in basketball against UNC, so that might kind of trickle over to hockey.
Yeah, this is, as we've talked about, a unique situation with the postponement. This is also not a Friday game or a Saturday game, which is when NC State is used to playing. So I wonder if a Thursday night game, although they do practice generally on Thursday nights, will this Thursday night game make a difference?
There's a lot of different variables going on here, but in their 3 matchups, NC State has come out with 2 wins. So they're hoping to pick up their 4th tonight.
Yeah, they'll be honoring their seniors in this game tonight. We'll highlight the seniors from both sides when we come back here at Invisalign. senior night here for NC State and North Carolina. Final game of the regular season between the Ice Pack and the Tar Heels. We're now going to highlight the seniors from both sides, and we're going to start with NC State. NC State with some key pieces, including Captain Zach Herman as well as Joey Govea, an alternate captain, both leaving.
They have been phenomenal leaders in this season so far. I've had the opportunity to talk to Govea multiple times, and he's just a great guy. I mean, anytime you talk to him, he's talking about the team and how great they are and things they're working on, and he's just a great interviewer.
Absolutely, and I think he's said the same thing about Joey Govea. Govea is a great locker room guy on top of being a big contributor. He had a big weekend against the Cardinals up in Kentucky last weekend, but you look at the back end, we mentioned Govea as an alternate captain. Another alternate captain in Nick Labrizi will also be leaving this team here after this season, so another big piece on the back end that NC State loses as well.
He's a really strong defenseman. We've talked about the way he plays on the broadcast, and he is always doing the right thing. And I have to highlight one of the funniest moments so far was when he was holding one of the mics during our interview, and it just kind of exploded on him.
The other senior for NC State is the man between the pipes tonight. Isaac Toyer will get his last start. This will be a meaningful game for him as well.
Yes, and you can always rely on good goaltending for NC State, so it'll be great to have Toyer in net tonight.
Yeah, so those are the seniors that NC State will be honoring here against the Tar Heels tonight. On the other side, as we mentioned, the Tar Heels have a few seniors to mention as well, most notably their captain, Patrick O'Shaughnessy.
And he was a name we talked about in the Governor's Cup a lot. He's a really strong player for UNC, and he'll definitely put up a fight tonight.
Absolutely. He is the star that stirs the drink, so to say, for that North Carolina offense. He will be an important piece and a guy to keep an eye on as well. Adam Zukowski, also a senior for the Tar Heels, as is the defenseman Will Hilton. But we also want to mention the guy between the pipes. We talked about Isaac Toyer for NC State. Lucas Brown, the senior in net for the Tar Heels tonight. He can be trouble for NC State at times.
He truly can. And during the Governor's Cup, we talked about NC State did beat them 7-0, but Lucas Brown was the one that kept them in the game. He really was a great player for UNC.
Yeah, and when he is on his game, he is very, very difficult for the Ice Pack to beat. But NC State is looking for a big one tonight. You mentioned the Governor's Cup. The last time these two teams met back in November, NC State routed the Tar Heels 7-0. What do the Ice Pack need to do that tonight? They
just need to do that same thing again. They had a really quick start for the Governor's Cup. NC State plays their best when they come out in the first period and are ready to play.
Yeah, and you talk about a quick start. I think that's going to be a really important thing because we were looking at that schedule before the game tonight for North Carolina. They haven't played in almost 2 weeks. Their last game was on February 7th against Cincinnati. So if you can get out to a quick start against the Tar Heels team that hasn't seen game speed, I think that's going to be advantageous.
And we've seen it with the United States Naval Academy when NC State played them. They hadn't played since December, and that really did not help them at all. So we'll have to see how UNC kind of bounces back from not being able to play.
Absolutely. Well, we're just about ready for the senior night festivities. We'll take a break and come back honoring the seniors for both teams.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We talk forever about the future, worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go, from ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make, with bright ideas, new tools, and a Wolfpack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
When you look at me, you might see
a person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer,
you'll see
a warrior mom,
an endurance athlete,
someone with a lot of fight.
Every 9 minutes, Someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit
Is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at cisa.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Well, I'm looking good. Thank you. Just became a real ID. What's the plan? Impromptu road trip? Actually, the plan is to fly to New York for today's product launch, and then visit the family in California and cap it off with a girls' weekend in New Orleans. You really can just do all that. Sure, I'm a real ID, so I'm good to board any domestic flight. Speaking of which, gotta fly. Nice. Enjoy. I'll be here.
Be your Real ID self today. To learn how, visit tsa.gov/realid or your local DMV.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
The lights are out here at Invisalign Arena as we close in on puck drop between NC State and North Carolina, the final regular season game of the season. The two teams taking to the ice now. Chris Lehman alongside Grace Mottau, and as they get set to honor the seniors for both sides, Grace, we'll throw it to you for our mottos tonight.
I don't know about you, Chris, but I have been religiously watching the Olympics, and
The hockey,
I
the way
mean,
it's going right now, you can't miss it.
I know. I'm a huge women's hockey fan, so to see the USA women's team win gold was amazing. So my first point is sweep it real. I'm going curling on Saturday for the first time. I'm very excited. I've told everyone I know, but this point is as simple as it sounds. Keep it real and control what you can control. The next one is mountain mentality. We've seen ski mountaineering where the athletes climb up harsh mountains before racing down, and this mountain mentality is about the same mindset. Stay steady under pressure, push through challenges, and keep your focus on the climb ahead. Last point is go for gold. You want to end on a high note, with this game being senior night and all, and the last regular season game. You got to give it your best and leave it all out there on the ice. Every effort, every play, and every moment counts.
Great mottos for this one tonight. Well, the Tar Heels are out there with their seniors. NC State's, as you can see, getting set to take the ice as well. We're going to throw it down to Aaron Preston, our public address announcer, for our senior presentation.
UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest classes in this career. First, for UNC, UNC is proud to honor the latest clas Massachusetts. Number 1, Isaac Toyer. Isaac leaves NC State as their all-time modern-day leader in wins, games played, and saves. Isaac will graduate with degrees in industrial systems engineering and economics. Upon graduation, Isaac will continue to work as a manufacturing engineer at Zurn LK Water Solutions. Isaac's favorite ice pack memory was shutting out UNC in the ACCHL championship game his freshman year. Isaac is joined by his uncle Steve and girlfriend Sienna. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Isaac Toyer. Next, a 4-year senior and captain from Holly Springs, North Carolina, number 8, Zach Herman. Zach is NC State's second all-time leading scorer with 161 points and first in scoring for 4-year players. He is also second all-time in games played and first for 4-year players with 129 consecutive games. Upon graduation, Zach, a business analytics major, will pursue a career in business analytics and marketing. Zach's favorite ice pack memory are road trips and team meals with the guys and the frozen Finley outdoor game in his freshman year. Zach is joined on the ice by his dad, Shay, his mother, Stacy, and his sister, Caroline. Ladies and gentlemen, number 8, Zach Herman. Next, a 3-year senior and alternate captain from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 21, Joey Govea. A business finance major with a concentration in finance. Joey has accepted a position to work in pharmaceutical sales in Raleigh and plans to help grow the high school hockey league in Raleigh and continue his work with the Capital City crew. Joey is joined on the ice by his mother, Jennifer, and dad, David. Ladies and gentlemen, number 21, Joey Govea. Finally, a 3-year senior and alternate captain from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 13, Nick Labrizi. A sports management major with a minor in coaching. Upon graduation, Nick will work in the NIL space and be a hockey skills coach. Nick's favorite memories are playing in the outdoor games and at Lenovo Center. Nick is joined on the ice by his dad, Anthony, mom, Heather, and sisters, Alyssa and Emma. Ladies and gentlemen, number 13, Nick Labrizi.
There are the seniors for both sides. Of course, as we mentioned, for the North Carolina Tar Heels, their seniors, Lucas Brown, Adam Zukowski, Patrick O'Shaughnessy, and Will Hilton. For NC State, Isaac Toyer, Zach Herman, Joey Govea, and Nick Labrizi. Both teams with 4 seniors, 3 captains out on the ice, and a goaltender for each side leaving, so big pieces to fill, Grace.
It's always a special night when UNC and NC State play each other, but there's just an added layer of emotion tonight.
Yeah, and now we're going to turn our attention to the starting lineups for both sides. And we're going to start with the North Carolina Tar Heels in net. Of course, the senior Lucas Brown, his 2 defensemen, Drew Smith, number 18, the sophomore, and then senior Will Hilton, the alternate captain, as we mentioned. On the front end, Patrick O'Shaughnessy is going to be out there alongside Adam Zukowski as well. As well as Will Smith for the Tar Heels. So it'll be, O'Shaughnessy with Zukowski and Smith, and Hilton on the back end with Drew Smith. On the NC State side, it'll be the captain, Zach Herman, alongside Reese Johnson and Joey Govea up front. Andrew Thronson and Nick Labrizi will be on the back end, and the senior in net for NC State is Isaac Toyer. So those are the starting sides for both teams. And we also want to highlight our player of the game, or rather our youth starter of the game. A special one tonight, Walker Irwin, who is a youth hockey player for the Junior Canes. He was recently diagnosed with leukemia. But through bull market, he and his family have been huge benefactors of NC State hockey since 2020. He was recently released from UNC Children's Hospital over the past weekend, and so he is going to be stepping out onto the ice here shortly for the national anthem. That's a great story as well, Chris.
And Chris, it just goes to show you how special hockey truly is.
It is a packed house tonight for this final game of the regular season. As you can see out there, the stands are full, and around the boards as well. There's not a spot to stand. It should be a fantastic environment for this one. It's always great to see these two teams with a really big crowd at Lenovo Center for the Governor's Cup, but I would argue that this will be a better atmosphere because of how enclosed it is.
And you can hear how loud it is. We can even hear it up here in the booth about this is going to be a loud and exciting game.
It should be awesome. They're ready for the national anthem, so we'll throw it down to the ice for that.
Tonight we are going to honor a two Roosters youth starter in a different way. We want to take a moment to show our support for Walker Irwin. Walker is a youth hockey player for the Junior Canes and was recently diagnosed with leukemia. The Irwins, through Bull Market Mobile, have been a huge benefactor of NC State hockey since 2020. Walker was released from UNC Children's Hospital over the weekend, and we want him to hear the Wolfpack and Tar Heel nations support him from home watching tonight. Please join the frigid sound of our Walker chant. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, as well, we're able to please rise and honor with all hands in mid-air. And military members past and present, we render a hand salute as we honor America and those that bring our country and our freedom. With the playing of our national anthem before this evening on the frigid sound of ice under the direction of Sarah Six.
just about set to get things started here at Invisalign Arena. Chris Lehman and Grace Mottau with you here as NC State and North Carolina will wrap up their regular seasons here this evening. As we mentioned, for North Carolina, it's been 2 weeks since they've seen game action. It'll be interesting to see if they're ready to go at a quick pace if NC State can set that.
I mean, anytime both these teams match up, it's a tough atmosphere. You really don't want to let anyone down, and you have kind of a lot riding on you now that it's a rivalry game. Also paired with senior night, you have a packed barn as well.
Yeah, that's going to be, I think, the biggest factor in this one is how these two teams handle that. They're used to it. They played in this environment plenty, but it's not an every game kind of environment, so it should be a really fun one tonight. The Tar Heels in white with the blue trim, NC State in their red Raleigh uniforms that they debuted last season. It'll be Govea to take the draw for NC State against his number opposite, and Patrick O'Shaughnessy for the Tar Heels. Heels moving left to right, Pack moving right to left here in period number 1. And it's the Tar Heels, O'Shaughnessy winning the opening draw. NC State to it at the blue line, swatted in by Govea, tracked down by Hilton behind the goal. He'll stop there with pressure from Johnson. Back up the wall, Herman gets to it. Thronson pinches down to pressure as well. Herman battling 1-on-2. Heavy hit there by Govea along the wall. Thronson holds the blue line. Turnaround shot deflects over, and a great save by Brown as the rebound went right to Johnson. That's an important save. We talked about how even though it was ended up being a blowout for NC State in that Governor's Cup game, you talked about how Lucas Brown kept the Tar Heels in it for a while. They're going to need him, I think, here tonight as well.
And you have to talk about how they haven't really played in a while, and NC State just came off of playing in Kentucky.
Yeah, NC State pretty much on a regular schedule this week other than the other game. Squirts out in front, and Brown's going to swallow it up again. NC State with pressure early. Now Jack Ammons, a little shoving match in front of the net with Will Hilton. Nothing will come of that. Face-off again in the Tar Heel end. There's 36 seconds off the clock. Holden Kaufman to take the draw. It'll be Matt Grady winning the face-off for the Heels. Worked up that far wall. Kaufman stops it there. Down low, he's got Ammons who hands it back in the corner. Kaufman plays it up the wall now for Labrizi. Has it poked off his stick. He'll retreat for it, though. It would have been a dangerous opportunity for the Heels. Blue line turnover there. Ammons forward for Prasma, hops his stick. Issa Mansur is to it. Daniel Cobber has some trouble with the bouncing puck. Has some help from Grady, though. He'll play it deep. In the corner, centering pass denied there by Cam Smith. And NC State can move it back out with some speed. Lateska swats it in at the red line. NC State will regroup again. Prasma at center ice. Backhanded forward on the chase. Herman gets to it. He'll circle behind. Backhand try, and it's shouldered down by Lucas Brown.
And what NC State has come out flying in these first couple of minutes.
3 shots already in the first 90 seconds. All the play really has been at the North Carolina end of the ice. Herman wins the draw backwards for Smith. He'll bank it down the wall. NC State captain back in control. Leaves it for Johnson. He'll try and steer it to the middle. Loose there in the slot. Coming away with it, the Tar Heels. It's knocked loose, though, by Gifford. Looking for Herman down low, and that's intercepted. And the Tar Heels cleared the zone. Good pressure still from NC State. Johnson walks it in. He'll saucer it rink wide for Gifford. Throws one on goal, and it'll be swallowed up by Lucas Brown once again. 4 for 4 is Brown early. But I think he's going to be really important.
And Chris, we've seen so far that UNC has given NC State a lot of opportunities to shoot the puck from the hashes, basically, right in the golden area. NC State has not been able to capitalize, but they've gotten a lot of shots off.
Yeah, they have looked really good early. The only thing they don't have yet is a goal on the scoreboard. Shot from Sodden, whistles wide. Hilton to it in the corner. Breakout pass up the wall is banked along by Glonick and not out. He'll get back to the dump it. Looks to the near side, now has Smith. Drew Smith walking it in, has some speed, hands it off, and it's whisted wide. Good chance there
for the Tar Heels. Best of the evening so far. Patterson will play it forward. It'll be Owen Kenny shooting it right back out. Back to Kenny again. Now Sodden for NC State, slaps at it. Collected again by Hilton. He'll play it off the glass. Lapani settles it down at the red line. Now Labrizi looking cross ice. Shook gets a touch to it but can't control. Into the Tar Heel end. Heels will work it back out. Plenty of space for the captain, Patrick O'Shaughnessy. He's got speed up that far side. Has it poked away by Labrizi, who clears the zone, but it's still North Carolina in control. O'Shaughnessy spins one deep from the blue line. Now Franzen backhands it up that far wall. Finch there first. He'll float it out of the zone. Kevin Ma, D to D for Manser. He'll elevate one into the NC State zone. Play seems to be settling down a little bit here. Not as much volatility in the play at this point. Kevin Ma will skate it in. NC State with a few good chances early. Tar Heels with one of their own as well. Forward for Rady. Straight through his skates in deep. Finch in on the forecheck. He'll put pressure on Manser. Rady on the follow-up with Kevin Ma there for the Heels. O'Shaughnessy there to help out. But it's Aiden Rady who wins the board battle. Still pinned there, though, trying to work his way loose. The puck squirts away, and it'll be North Carolina coming up with it. Will Smith across for Manser. Plays it off the stick of a teammate and deep. And that'll give the Tar Heels a chance to change. Good flow to this game so far.
Both teams are playing with great speed.
Walking in, high slot shot, blocked for Daniel Cobber. He'll chase down the rebound in the corner. Place it back behind the goal. First to it is Matt Grady. He's bodied up. Has some help there, though, from Adam Zukowski. Back down low. Centering pass is covered up by the blocker of Toyer. And we'll get a stoppage with 15:47 left in the period.
And we saw in those first couple minutes, NC State was kind of dominant in UNC's zone. I talked about how both teams are really playing with a lot of speed right now, but so far I think NC State has been playing a better positional game.
Now they're going to get a chance to get set up in the offensive zone as well. 15:47 left in the first. This is the first face-off in the NC State end of the ice. Ice Pack control it. They'll skate it out. Stopped up momentarily at the red line. Ammons shoots it in. Lucas Brown sets it up. Breakout pass kept in at the blue line by Lupani. Down low. Sangster under pressure. Trying to turn away from it. Up the wall, Zukowski. He'll be pinned there by Kaufman. Into a 2-on-2 scrum. Heels tried to clear and couldn't. Puck poked down low by Prasma. He's back to it. Tried to play it out in front. That's picked off. Zukowski has it in the corner for the Heels. Kaufman there. Knocks him down. Zukowski back to his feet with the puck, though. Looking into the middle. Breakout pass hops away from Cobber. And it's Kyler Sun shooting it back in once more. NC State really making it difficult on the Tar Heels right now. Brady knocks down a dump in. He'll skate it forward. Another chance for the Heels to get set up in the offensive zone now. Zukowski. Planted Kyler Sun. I think we're going to get a penalty here on the Tar Heels as well. Wasn't sure. That was one of those plays where we might benefit from a replay as to whether or not Kyler Sun turned late or if there was enough time there for the Tar Heel who's going to the penalty box and Zukowski to hold up. That one could go either way, I would say.
But I mean, even strength, NC State was relentless in keeping UNC in their own zone. We saw them shut down multiple breakout attempts. So it'll be interesting to see them on the power play.
What will NC State do with some extra space and an extra man? Face-off won by the Tar Heels and immediately cleared out. Good start to the kill for the visitors. A 2-minute boarding penalty to the alternate captain and senior Adam Zukowski. And now NC State going to work on their first power play of the game. Shot right back down the ice again by Hilton, and that's why that first face-off of a power play is so important. It can be difficult to regain possession in the zone and get set up on a power play. Ammons with the one-man break-in takes the shot, and it's swallowed up by Brown from that far side. 1:25 left on the man advantage.
I mean, in any game, possession is a huge part of it. You want to have the puck at all times, but especially on the power play, you don't want to go all the way back to your own zone to reset up.
Here's the last chance for Ammons. Not a great angle. Brown one thing he's done pretty well so far tonight on the 5 shots he's faced is rebound control. Hasn't given much up. So Govea on the draw against O'Shaughnessy. Patrick O'Shaughnessy wins it for the Tar Heels. Puck stuck up in that far corner. We skated back behind the net by Hilton. Played back to that far corner again. Heels having some trouble clearing, but second attempt from Hilton gets all the way down the ice. Almost halfway through the man advantage now for NC State, and only one shot from a bad angle. Here's Ammons, who had that shot. He'll gain the red line and fire it in. Around the wall to the near side. Prasma knocks his man off the puck. Johnson walks the goal line. Looking out in front, and it deflects out of the zone. Labrizi couldn't get to it. And NC State will regroup again, down to about 45 seconds left of power play time.
And UNC has been able to capitalize on some of those little mistakes.
They've done a pretty good job of, as soon as they've got control of it, clearing it down the ice and wasting time. Well, we talked about that Governor's Cup. NC State, one of their more dominant victories over North Carolina in the past few years. Very different story so far tonight, although we did have a similar start. It took a while before NC State opened the floodgates. See if that's the case again here tonight. Another clearance for the Tar Heels on the penalty kill. And a break up the breakout as well. That should bleed off most of the rest of this power play. Darlene with one last chance of the man advantage. Kicked out, the rebound, they score! Gifford, just as the power play was expiring, 1-0 Ice Pack.
And that's a textbook pass-off pad right there. Sometimes we talked about, using your shot angle to your benefit. That was just an amazing play right off Lucas Brown's pads.
There's the kick out. Gifford there gets it to the net, and that's the perfect replay angle. That should count as a power play goal. You could see it still lit up on the scoreboard in the background as the puck went in the net. So NC State, 1 for 1 on the man advantage. They took the full 2 minutes to score that goal, but they got the first one, and as we mentioned, as I mentioned maybe 30 seconds ago, NC State really started to pour it on. I think it took almost 16 minutes or so before we had a goal in that game at the Lenovo Center, but it was 3-0 by the end of the period. Now the Tar Heels looking to answer, saved off the blocker of Toyer and out of play.
And you want to make sure to not let your opponent be able to reset and collect themselves after goals like this. I mean, it's so early in the period, but you really just want to be relentless.
Yeah, I think NC State's going to have to get back on the attack here. The Tar Heels certainly looking to answer. They went right back down to the other end. Toyer got a piece of it with the blocker. Govea back in the face-off circle for NC State against Jack Sangster of the Tar Heels, with Teska playing it around the wall. Down low, Harvey Camboche to it. Played up the wall now and chipped down deep by Nolan Williams. Puck stuck behind the net. Well, that shot right off the face-off after the goal is the first shot of the game for North Carolina. Still not a whole lot of offensive zone time. Puck hops the stick of Camboche. Shook will dump it in. Now NC State can make some changes. At the blue line, Sodden. He'll just throw it rink wide off the wall. First one to it is Joseph Witeska. Pinned there by NC State's Gianconti. Some help from Patterson to get it deep. Finch into pressure. Sangster sends it up the near side. Sodden now dropping in to keep it deep. And again, NC State's forecheck has been absolutely suffocating. This one sent the length of the ice. It'll be a foot race won by Tate Sodden. That is icing, and NC State with a chance here to take advantage of some tired legs after that icing call.
And we have seen NC State throughout this whole season do a great job of face-off wins and having set plays off of them. So I wonder if we can expect to see that.
We've seen them score multiple times off of some of those set plays you mentioned. Here's a chance now. Connie, after the NC State win, drops it off for Labrizi. That shot is blocked. And now the Tar Heels can skate it out, but the headman pass misses its target. This will be icing again. And once again, the Tar Heels will have to leave the same bodies out on the ice with the icing call.
And that's just a huge headache for UNC right now. It's always a little testy when it's in your own zone. You got tired legs. You just want to get that puck out.
Sangster against Kaufman for NC State, who has their top line out there. It'll be one to the wall by the Tar Heels, but not cleared. Second effort gets it out, thrown right back in by Franz and NC State, trying to keep the pressure on and not let the Tar Heels get a full change. They got a couple of fresh sets of legs out there. So they do have some relief. It'll be kept in again by Ammons in front of the Tar Heel bench. Wateska looking to clear. That one's bodied down by Kaufman, but it escapes the zone anyhow, and now North Carolina can get some more fresh legs out there. A little over 9 minutes gone in this one. Senior night for NC State. Power play goal from Jake Gifford has given the Ice Pack a 1-0 lead. Continue to pressure. Kaufman walking into the zone. He's stopped up at the blue line. Follow up from Prasma forces it into the corner. Kaufman now finds the loose puck at the hashes, but he turns it over and it's cleared back down. And not much that the Tar Heels have been able to do other than clear the puck and reset defensively. Now they've got a chance as NC State ices the puck, though, to try and set up in the offensive end once again. They really haven't been able to do much of it.
I mean, we saw a pretty dominant penalty kill from UNC, so hopefully they can translate that to full-strength play.
NC State wins the defensive zone draw. Will Smith, though, bodies down the clearance. NC State gets it out on the second attempt. Floated forward by Prasma. That pass intercepted. Back the other way, the Tar Heels. Into the zone. Got up in skates, some trouble there, but it'll be played back down low for Smith. Throws it right into the glove of Toyer. He'll hold on to it, and we'll get a face-off coming up in the NC State zone. 9:56 left in the first.
And NC State's been out shooting UNC 7-2 so far.
And that shot from the bad angle, as you see there in the replay, that was the second shot. There's not been a whole lot going on the offensive end for North Carolina. As we mentioned, it's been up to Lucas Brown to try and keep this game within striking distance for as long as possible. Tie up off the faceoff. NC State to it first. Gian Connie. Headmans for Rady. Connie taken down as Rady comes in, and the shot again swallowed up by Lucas Brown. He has not given NC State, other than the goal, I don't think he's given up any real consequential or dangerous rebounds.
No, he's a very strong goaltender when it comes to moving. I mean, down low we saw the goal because of a rebound. So his rebound control, we'll have to see as the game progresses how good his rebound control can be.
So far he's done a pretty good job of limiting NC State's second chances. That was a real big scrum there for that one. NC State going to have to pressure on the forecheck as the Tar Heels win it. Cleared out to Cobber in the neutral zone. Tried to hand it off for Zukowski, but it's taken away. Rady, trouble controlling it. Loose puck just inside the Tar Heel line. Rady to it. Upended there as an NC State player. That was Finch. NC State still in control as it hops the stick of Cam Smith and out of the zone. NC State, I think, wanted a penalty there and didn't get it. Here's Ma. Looking forward, Cobber. Receives it through pressure from Finch. Gains the zone and sends it behind the net. Son, below his own goal line, going to skate it forward. Breakout pass finds Reese Johnson. He's got Gifford up the near side, and they're in offsides. Gifford, I think, was expecting a pass there and didn't end up coming.
He was trying to get another one right off the pad, but.
And here's a look at that last potential call there that was let go. But you can see from that, and it's kind of been most of the game, you saw a lot of flat-footed Tar Heels in there around Reese Johnson. NC State just seems to have a little more jump right now. Off the face-off, Kyler Son under pressure. Will be forced into the NC State zone by the Tar Heels. Lapani to it first. Looking up the near wall. Tar Heel forecheck with a steal, though. Sangster walking in, and I think we're going to get a penalty on the Tar Heels. And immediately, Daniel Hu was over there checking on the Ice Pack player, Kyler Son. I think we'll get a look at the play here as Son worked back in. I think a little bit of a late hit there, and so NC State going back to the power play. A roughing penalty is the call. Daniel Hu.
This is an opportunity for both teams. If you're UNC, you kind of want to do what you did last time. Just get the puck and clear it all the way down the length of the ice. But if you're NC State, you kind of want to limit how many bobbled passes you have and be kind of smart with where you're putting the puck.
This is a great opportunity for NC State to really take control of this game. They already have control. They've dictated pace of play. They spent most of their time in the offensive end, even on 5-on-5. Now they could potentially open up a 2-goal lead. Prasma looking to the middle. Johnson missed it. Govea was there, saved by Brown. Played back up that far wall, and the Tar Heels able to clear.
NC State's taking some time on their zone entry, and you can do that when you're on the power play. I mean, take all the time you want. Be patient.
Prasma will skate it in with speed. Rack chance. Can't stuff it home. Clearance held in by Labrizi. He wrists one up over the glass. Along the side of the goal. NC State can't jam it home. Moves along the near side. Ice Pack have it. Centering pass stolen by O'Shaughnessy. Johnson able to knock it back loose, and it's Govea to it first. He'll carry it up top. Govea down low. Button hooks knocked off the puck, but as he makes the pass to Prasma, able to move it along. Prasma's shot misses wide, and now it's cleared out by Smith. Over halfway through the power play. Better start to the man advantage this time for NC State.
Yeah, and I talked about being patient. That's the name of the game with the power play. I mean, you have to see who's open. You have to see if passing lane is blocked as well.
Now Kaufman will skate it in. He'll turn at the goal line. Back up top, Sodden. Down to the hashes. Herman back up for Gifford. And his shot blocked down by Lucas Brown. Kaufman again. Walks into the far circle. Takes the shot. And that one deflects into the netting behind. And we'll get a stoppage. 20 seconds left on the NC State power play.
NC State did a great job of crashing the net on that. You had a bunch of red jerseys out in front trying to cause some chaos, trying to knock Lucas Brown off the puck a little bit.
This has definitely been a better looking power play for NC State. Kaufman ready to take the draw for the Pack. Up against Grady of the Tar Heels. Grady wins the faceoff. NC State able to get to it though. Shook. Lost the puck as he was hit. Still loose behind the goal. It'll be cleared out by the Tar Heels. That should finish off the man advantage. There's 7 minutes left in the first period. NC State's Jake Gifford with a power play goal. That's the difference right now, 1-0. Herman under one hand, one out in front. He's going to be taken down in that near corner. And play will continue. Lapani throws it in on goal and then gives an extra shot to Harvier Camboche. To see the Tar Heels with a little bit of fight back. Here's Aiden Rady along the blue line. Had some trouble controlling the puck. Pressure from the Tar Heel forecheck. Rady knocks his man off the puck and clears the zone. He's shot in now by Kevin Mumm. This is the first time we're seeing somewhat of an effective forecheck from the Tar Heels. NC State starting to struggle through the neutral zone. Ma going D to D with Manser. Manser. Stretch pass, hits the stick of Austin Finch and deflects in the NC State zone. It'll be chopped on goal by Owen Kenny. It'll be held on to by Torrey. We got some extracurriculars down in front of that NC State net. Cobber going down along with Kyler Sun. It'll be interesting to see how long the officials kind of let that little bit of extra go before we see a few penalties to try and settle it down. Here's another look at it though.
Chris, I feel like so far we've seen a lot of tripping, a lot of hits going, but NC State kind of has had the advantage of having those calls in their favor.
And now they'll have to deal with a little bit of pressure though. We start to see the Tar Heels shift things back into their offensive end now. 5.5 minutes to go. Sangster to take the draw for the Tar Heels. NC State's Holden Kaufman winning the draw. Prasma receives the breakout pass. He'll float it up ice. This is risk of icing, and it is. NC State will head back into their own end. Not exactly sure what the plan there was for Daniel Prasma. It's pretty well covered by the Tar Heel defense.
I mean, great idea. Didn't really execute it as well as they had hoped, but NC State has one thing to their advantage, and that's speed. You see that in Prasma and Ammons.
Prasma you see there up close. Still on the ice with Kaufman and Ammons. Steered away off the draw by Toyer. Poked up ice by Kaufman. That'll be Drew Smith to it first. Turned over, they score! Prasma takes advantage, 2-0.
And in Prasma fashion, I just spoke about how he has that speed and he's a great asset to the NC State team.
Look coming in, that's a tough one for Brown. A little deep in his net, I would say there, but he didn't have a lot of time to come out and attack, and it's Drew Smith, the defenseman here. Pretty good play by Prasma to force the turnover, and that's a gut punch for the Heels.
And Prasma made sure you heard it go in.
So 5:09 left in period number 1, an unassisted goal for Daniel Prasma, who picks up his 20th of the season. He now has 36 points in what is tonight his 29th game. Over a point per game player for the Ice Pack. Heels back the other way now. Going to bring it in as Owen Kenny's knocked off the puck in the near corner. NC State back in control. Darlene plays it forward as Ammons up that far right side. He'll cut to the high slot, wrists one over the crossbar. Darlene to the loose puck. He'll shovel it back down low. Wateska playing it around the wall. Patterson pinching in from the blue line to keep it deep. Back behind the goal, NC State's Ammons spins one out in front, but NC State making a change. The Tar Heels will clear. Shot right back in. North Carolina can reset the breakout. Pass up by Shook, gets a skate on it to hold the zone, but it'll be swept out now by Owen Kenny. NC State, though, not giving the Tar Heels much chance for a breather. It's thrown right back in on Lucas Brown, and another offensive zone faceoff coming up.
Chris, if you're in UNC, what are you thinking?
Oh, the Tar Heels are going to have to find a way to break out of the zone cleanly. When they've been able to get in and get set up offensively, we've seen them be effective. It was very brief, but they were effective and were able to get a few shots on goal. That was their best stretch, but they're going to have to find a way to mitigate this NC State forecheck, which has been incredibly suffocating. Zukowski now into the face-off circle to replace Grady against NC State's Govea. Ice Pack winning. D to Sodden. He'll wrist one wide along the ice. As we've mentioned, the forecheck and the pressure from NC State, their offensive end, has been brutal for the Tar Heels. Kevin Ma throws it off the glass and out, but Kyler Sun there at the red line to shoot it right back in. Grady plays it off the boards and out. It deflects off Cobber, so no offsides as Shook walks into the slot and slides it just wide. Nick Shook in just his 7th game for the Ice Pack this season after being abroad in the first semester, still looking for his first goal. Just about had it there. 3.5 to go in this first period. Shook up the middle for Herman. He'll carry it along with speed. He gets leveled in the high slot trying to split the defense. That was a heavy hit on the NC State captain, and NC State going to take exception to that. Nothing wrong with that hit, though.
I mean, that was a smart play by UNC's defender. I mean, you never want to give anyone space in the middle, especially in your defensive zone.
Oh, it's risky when you leave your feet there. You take away any ability to control where you're going. That was a huge hit on Herman. I believe that was Drew Smith, the sophomore, who laid that hit. He is now going to end up in the box along with Nick Shook. This should be matching minors, I would imagine.
But Herman had the right idea. As a forward, or truly, you've seen Labrizi, for example, take the puck up, and Darlene. Those are some of the key defenders who are really comfortable with carrying the puck, but you always want to go towards the middle, and sometimes you have to take an off-angle shot. But the middle is, or the golden area, some people call it. That's really where you always kind of want to shoot from.
Yeah, you get another look at it, and that was a great hit by Smith. Of course, Nick Shook going to the defense of his captain, and Smith was going to respond. So
but the good part is
a couple of penalties. Well, actually, it looks like there are 2 penalties, I believe, on Nick Shook. I would at least imagine both of them are Shook. There's another NC State player. Tough to tell from the booth here who it is, but there's a second NC State player in the penalty box. So it will be a power play for 2 minutes for North Carolina here.
But a positive is that Zach Herman was up on his feet, no damage done.
Now the Tar Heels win the opening draw to start the power play. Hilton walking up top, played down into the corner, worked back up for Manser. Now Hilton across, Manser there, had to load it up, fires wide, and it will escape the zone on the rebound. NC State catches a break 20 seconds into the man advantage. 2 roughing penalties you hear in there to Shook and Smith. Not sure what the additional penalty was. Either way, it is a 2-minute power play here for the Heels. They're already 45 seconds into it, though. Hilton along the blue line. Back down for Manser on that far side hash. Up top for Hilton. As O'Shaughnessy top of the near circle. Down to the goal line. NC State taking away the passing options. One-timer from the top of the near circle. Doesn't find its target. And NC State able to clear the rebound. As Finch got to it first, they can get fresh penalty killers out there.
And having that fresh set of legs really is an added benefit.
And Bosch will walk it in, trying to curl and drag around his man, and Ammons there, but couldn't. NC State unable to clear. Tar Heels trying to set up the power play again. Bosch up top, settled down by Kevin Ma, who gives it back along that far wall. Down into the corner now, O'Shaughnessy. 24 seconds left on that power play. Bosch in the far corner. Looking into the circle, and down goes another Tar Heel. North Carolina wanted a penalty. Doesn't look like they're going to get it, though. They'll play with it up along the blue line. Ma making a tight turn. Under 10 seconds left on the power play. Shot stopped there by Toyer from O'Shaughnessy. Now NC State clears the zone. Power play runs out. Nick Shook back out of the penalty box. We're down to just over a minute left in the period. Still 2-0 NC State. Gifford waiting for reinforcements. Has Lapani, who steps around a man and dumps it deep. Kevin Ma there for the Heels. They'll look to skate it out. Played up the near side. Nobody there in a white jersey. NC State to it first. Tate Sodden lifts it through the neutral zone. Javier Bosch will settle it down. Left along the side there. Cleared out by the Heels. Sent right back in by NC State. They just have not allowed North Carolina to possess the puck past the red line very much. And 5-on-5 play. Tied up in the slot. Puck squirts loose to the near wall. Tate Sodden throws it back behind the goal, and it'll be swatted up into the netting. Lucas Brown will get a stoppage with 22.3 to go on the clock.
He had a little bit of ping pong hockey from there for a couple minutes. Saw UNC trying to get the puck out, and then NC State was kind of really strong on their sticks and sent it right back in.
So an offensive zone draw with 22 seconds left in the period. Kaufman, Prasma, Ammons, the forward line out there for NC State with Sodden and Lapani. Looks like a late line change will be called back by the officials, as Daniel Hu and Patrick O'Shaughnessy will have to stay out there. It'll be O'Shaughnessy on the draw against Kaufman. He'll actually yield to Will Smith here. Kaufman wins it forward, looking to the middle, loose in the low slot. O'Shaughnessy has it for the Heels. He's going to play it forward for Drew Smith. Smith has speed down the near side, looking back at the blue line for O'Shaughnessy. That pass broken up. NC State looking to clear, but it'll be held in now by Will Smith. Around to the corner. Played back out in front. NC State intercepts, and Prasma will skate it out of the zone as time runs out on period number 1. NC State with a power play goal from Jake Gifford, and then Daniel Prasma adding to the lead with about 5 minutes to go. 2-0 NC State, but we talked about the Ice Pack wanting to take advantage of a potentially slow Tar Heels team who hasn't played a game in 2 weeks, and they've been able to do that through 20 minutes.
And we have talked about time and time again about how important a quick and early start is. NC State really went on to show you how important it is to especially even move the goalie. We saw kind of an array of different kind of shots, shot angles, and we saw a great top corner goal from Prasma and a pass-off pad goal by Gifford.
Yeah, well, they're going to have a $10,000 shot challenge here at the intermission, sponsored by Bull Market. That'll be interesting to see. We're going to let them do that. We're going to step aside when we come back. We'll talk with one of our seniors for NC State and Joey Govea on the other side.
Chris Lehman back with senior and alternate captain Joey Govea of the Ice Pack. NC State leading North Carolina 2-0 after one period. And Joey, before we get into the first period, obviously a senior, you're a leader in the locker room for this team as well. Talk about your experience as a member of the NC State Ice Pack.
Sure, it's been amazing, right? You kind of take it for granted in the moment. 3 years ago, I didn't even think about this day, but I've played on a lot of great hockey teams, but this is the best group of guys I've ever played with, and I'll cherish these guys forever.
Yeah, and you look at events like tonight, you obviously have a great crowd here for senior night. You get to play in front of some big crowds outdoors and over at Lenovo Center. It's had to have been just some of the best experiences on the ice for you as well.
100%. It's been amazing. There's not too many club programs that get to do what we get to do, so I'm forever indebted to this program.
Absolutely, and right now it's been a good start to that final home game for you. You guys have a 2-0 lead. Talk about that first period. Particularly, I want to look at the power play. You had a couple of them get a power play goal there at the very end of the first one, and the second power play looked pretty good as well. What were you guys seeing on the ice?
Yeah, they were good, right? Like, we were keeping it composure. We forced a few things here and there, but we corrected that. Second unit got a goal, and that's really all you can ask for on the power play.
And when you look at 5-on-5 hockey as well, you guys have controlled most of the play. You've really had the Heels hemmed into their own end. What about the forecheck has been so successful so far?
Every guy's going, right? Like, we know it's their senior night too. We know that they're going to want to win just as bad as we do. But the one thing that we have on them right now, I think, is speed and heart. So, every single guy's going. They're playing for the guy next to them. We're playing bodies. We're getting the puck deep. I think every guy's going.
Yeah, well, it's certainly been a great first 20 minutes. As you look ahead to the second period, obviously you have a really good first. How do you continue it when you head into the second?
We just don't stop, right? We just keep playing hard, keep getting pucks on net, finishing our hits, doing the dirty work. It's going to keep coming.
All right, Joey, thanks for joining us here at the intermission. Congratulations on a career here at the Ice Pack. Isn't finished yet, but congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
That's Joey Govea of the Ice Pack. We'll be back as Grace and I recap the first period.
I would never show my teeth. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons, hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Happy birthday, Max.
Yes! I'm Joe on the phone, here to show you 4 easy ways to stay safe online. Come on.
We can secure our world when you choose your passwords. Make them strong. Use a password manager to help you along. crashing. Let's report it. Install updates. Make better passwords. Think before you click. Use multiple factors. That's how we can secure our world.
Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
For each life moment, your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. Your kids may be eligible now, even if you've applied before. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Get started now at insurekidsnow.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Chris Lehman back alongside Grace Mottau here at the first intermission. NC State up 2-0 on North Carolina after 20 minutes. And Grace, we're going to take a look at that first period now for NC State. We talked about it was a game where they wanted to get off on the right foot and get started quickly. They did just that, even though it took a little while to score. They were able to dictate play really for all but maybe a couple minutes of that period.
And they had an array of different kind of shots and shot angles. We saw Gifford's goal. He was in a great position. And, you know, we had talked about timing and how important it is in a game like this to really know where you need to be and where the puck is going to come out. But a beautiful pass off the pad, and Gifford was right there to kind of stuff it in the back of the net. And then Prasma, in Prasma fashion, kind of put the puck in the top corner.
Yeah, that was a great individual effort by one of NC State's top forwards, and Daniel Prasma able to pickpocket Drew Smith and then take it in on Lucas Brown and score to make it 2-0. But the other thing to look at for NC State that I talked about with Joey Govea was the power play and the forecheck. Those two things for NC State have been very, very strong. Obviously, as you talked about, they score at the tail end of that first power play. Had a lot of good zone time, though, and some good chances on the second power play. I think that certainly helped NC State continue to build as that period went along.
They had a lot of shots, like you had mentioned. They did a great job on the power play with positioning, and they bobbled the puck a little bit. We saw UNC kind of capitalize at one point on always sending the puck down and making NC State regroup, but all in all, NC State had a pretty solid period, coming out with 2 goals and unanswered as well.
Yeah, out shooting the Tar Heels 11-4 as well. And, you know, a big reason that the shots look that way and they've had a couple of great power play opportunities is because of their forecheck. They have not given the Tar Heels much room in the neutral zone, and other than a very brief segment in the middle of that period and then the power play towards the end, we haven't seen the Tar Heels get a lot of zone time, and it's really wearing on them.
And NC State, I mentioned in the broadcast earlier about how it's kind of a ping pong kind of hockey. They were trying to get the puck out. NC State was relentless, held a good blue line, and dumped it right back in.
Well, they have really started to wear on the Tar Heels, and they hold a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes. We're going to take a look ahead at the second period when we come back. We're getting ready for the second period here at Invisalign Arena. Chris Lehman alongside Grace Mottau, a 2-0 lead for the NC State Ice Pack over the North Carolina Tar Heels. And as we were talking about, Grace, in that last segment, NC State has been suffocating this Tar Heel team so far. And I think the main thing that you're going to have to look out for if you're North Carolina is finding a way to break up that forecheck for NC State, whether it's just elevating the puck out and getting up the ice and putting pressure on, or finding a way through that NC State pressure. But right now, they haven't found an answer.
No, and you have to be creative sometimes on the breakout. It's so easy if you can see a pass off the boards going straight to the center. It's such an easy play to kind of jump in on and apply pressure to, but like you mentioned, you have to be creative. You got to get the puck out.
Well, one guy we mentioned in the pregame that we haven't really talked a whole lot about in the first period is the senior between the pipes for NC State. Isaac Toyer has only seen 4 shots in that first period, so he hasn't seen a whole lot of action, but it'd be interesting if he starts to see more how that impacts him.
And that's a testament to the forwards on the forecheck and the defenders of making sure Toyer does not see as a multitude of shots.
Yeah, well, NC State going to hope to build off of what was a very strong first period. They have a 2-0 lead, and as you can see, fans behind us ready to go for period number 2. The glow sticks they had going in the pregame, I'm not sure we'll see them again tonight, but they're a lot of fun. NC State, North Carolina, coming up with period number 2 after this.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Welcome to Moe's!
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go, from ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make, with bright ideas, new tools, and a Wolfpack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
When you look at me, you might see
A person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer, you'll see
A warrior mom.
an endurance athlete. Someone with a lot of fight. Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit
Is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at cisa.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Well, I'm looking good. Thank you. Just became a real ID. What's the plan? Impromptu road trip? Actually, the plan is to fly to New York for today's product launch, and then visit the family in California and cap it off with a girls' weekend in New Orleans. You really can just do all that. Sure, I'm a real ID, so I'm good to board any domestic flight. Speaking of which, gotta fly. Nice. Enjoy. I'll be here.
Be your Real ID self today. To learn how, visit tsa.gov/realid or your local DMV.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Fresh 20 minutes up on the clock here at Invisalign Arena. A packed house tonight. They announced it earlier this evening. A sold-out crowd. As Grace mentioned earlier, Coach Healy told us the most student tickets sold at around 600, which is about half of the capacity here at Invisalign Arena. We're set for period number 2 as NC State in the red will move left to right in the second. And White moving right to left to the North Carolina Tar Heels, who trail the Ice Pack 2-0. And again, I think the big question, Grace, as we head into the second period is how does North Carolina respond to what has been an incredibly potent Ice Pack forecheck so far? They'll break it out here with space. Lucari walking in. He gets knocked down there by an Ice Pack defenseman in Bronson. And we got a penalty coming up here to NC State. It'll be the second power play of the night for the Tar Heels and a chance to cut into the NC State lead.
It's a difficult position to start the period out on the penalty kill. So for NC State, you really want to make sure that you're doing everything right. You're sticking to your penalty kill systems.
That'll be Daniel Prasma with a 2-minute cross-checking penalty. Second power play of the evening for North Carolina. O'Shaughnessy on the draw for the Heels. NC State's Finch ties him up, and the Ice Pack clear the zone. NC State had a slight advantage in the face-off circle in the first period, but of course significantly controlled the way that game was played in period number 1. Now a chance for the Tar Heels to get started offensively in the second. O'Shaughnessy plays it back down low. Lucari moved up the wall for Smith. Back to O'Shaughnessy. And you can see it looks a little bit soggy down there on the ice. I wonder if that's going to be tough for the players to deal with. Sometimes wet spots can make the puck sticky. Moving right now. Deflected in front, and Toyer makes the save. It was Will Smith in front of the goal. And a nice save by the senior for NC State.
That could have been dangerous for NC State. You want to make sure, especially on the penalty kill, that you're pushing anyone in a white jersey towards the outside.
And there really wasn't anybody in a red jersey there to contest number 44 in white. New unit out there for both sides as Matt Grady wins the draw for the Heels. Camboche up top. Thinks about the shot but decides not. Played over for Ma. Now Zukowski into the middle. Cobber turns around, had some trouble. I think the puck got stuck there a little bit, as I was alluding to. And NC State takes advantage of that break and clears. A little over halfway through the Tar Heel power play. Zukowski weaving into the zone. He'll play it deep and chase after it. Behind the goal, it's a 2-on-2 battle. Puck gets lost for a moment. Grady plays it around the wall for Camboche. Down into that far corner again. Cobber pokes it along. Grady behind the cage. Backhands it up the wall. He's got Ma there for Camboche. Shot through traffic. Deflected just wide by Cobber. Great chance there for the Tar Heels. Down to 15 seconds of power play time. Ma looking across. That one gets deflected. Now Gianconti knocks his man off the puck, and NC State clears the zone. Just 5 seconds of power play time left, and NC State will go off a second penalty. Camboche back for it. NC State now can put some pressure on offensively as it's intercepted by Gifford. Across for Johnson. Down low, one-timer, and it's all the way across. About 3 minutes gone in this second period. NC State has been able to kill off an early penalty. Now they'll look to get back on the attack. Gifford looking for Johnson. He gets tripped up. Official said he stepped on the puck, though, not a stick. And so play will continue. Cleared out once again by the Tar Heels. It's starting to look a little bit more like the first period as Labrizi shoots it back in. Brown plays it along to Ma, who shoots it around the wall and out the far side. The one thing that will make it a little more difficult on the Heels if they can't figure out how to get deep with the puck is it's the period of the long change. Kevin Ma's shot blocked as the Heels work in. In the slot, it's Ma. Over to the far circle. That shot whistles wide for Daniel Hu. Grady shoots it back around again. A little pressure from Labrizi along the wall. Centering pass from Hu. Can't connect with Grady. He'll track it down, though, and swat it behind the goal. Labrizi again. Herman elevates it out. The Heels will turn it back around again. Williams straight up the middle, looking to break through the defense. Has it knocked off his stick though, and Labrizi finds Herman off the wall. Headman now for Patterson, steps around a defenseman, walks in, pad save made in tight by Brown. He got collided with though as the play moved on, and he's down in his net. And hopefully he's okay. He's been solid back there between the pipes so far for the Tar Heels. And they're really going to need him to continue to play that way.
I think it looks like Patterson got a little bit of his helmet. I could be...
This should give us a pretty good look at it here. And it was the defenseman for North Carolina that actually knocked him into Lucas Brown. And so it's a little bit of a self-inflicted wound for the Tar Heels. Looks like Lucas Brown going to be okay though. But yeah, the padding, there's a lot of padding on the front of a goaltender, but if you've ever seen the inside of a goaltender's helmet or the back of the padding, there's not a whole lot extra there to protect. So any kind of head contact there, you gotta be careful with. And now NC State battling for it in front of the Tar Heel net. Some pushing and shoving between Shook and Hilton there. It's a pass for Shook, skips under his stick and past Patterson deep into the zone. Back behind the goal, they'll battle. Patterson to it. Finds Smith up at the blue line. D to D with Darlene. He'll shoot it through traffic looking for a tip. Didn't get to the net. Spun back deep. Prasma knocked down by Hilton, who takes the puck. NC State going to steal it right back. It's Govea down low. And it off for Shook. It's tied up there along the side of the goal. Smith lost an edge, but holds the zone for the moment. Second effort gets it out for the Heels, and here they go. Williams takes the shot, deflects off the stick of Darlene and wide. And NC State back to it. Smith right through the skates of Patterson. This is going to be icing. And NC State's going to have to come all the way back down to their own end here.
And Chris, in the past minute or two, I feel like this has been a kind of an even game. You've seen both teams struggle to maintain full possession in either zone.
You look at the way this period has gone too, it's been much better for the Tar Heels, even though they don't have a goal yet. They have held NC State to just one shot through the first 5.5 minutes. Pack had 11 shots in the first period. 3 shots so far this period for the Heels as well. Owen Kenny up against Joey Govea on the draw. NC State will get to the loose puck first. Patterson plays it off the wall, but not out. One-timer from Manser. Ricochets wide. Back up to the blue line. Kevin Ma's shot off the pad of Toyer. Blahnik to it in the near corner, looking for Owen Kenny, who can't hold on to it. NC State looking to set up another breakout. Darlene's breakout pass knocked back, followed up by Govea, who clears. He'll head in on a 2-on-1 with Shook. Shook to the middle. Govea played on goal, stopped by Brown. It's loose in the crease. They'll jam away, and now we've got a whistle as Brown has it covered, and this could get a little bit ugly here after that play.
Chris, that all started with a great breakout pass, kind of an indirect pass by Nick Shook.
We're definitely going to see at least a couple of players aside, I think, in the penalty box here. It was chaotic in front of the North Carolina net, and I think that's amplified a little bit from the collision earlier with Patterson. Here's another look. And I think it was that extra jab from Shook there that kind of kick-started it. Here's another angle from up top. Great save by Brown. But we'll wait to see how the officials decide to dole out the penalties here.
But you're always taught when you're growing up to play until the whistle, and that's exactly what Nick Shook did.
We'll see. I would imagine if anyone for NC State is going to go to the penalty box, it would be Nick Shook.
That was a great effort play by everyone on the ice. I mean, to support him going down
It's quite a scramble. No one has gone to the penalty box yet, although both doors now are opening. I would imagine we're going to get matching penalties on both sides. There's Shook and Glonick, I think, are both going to go. And then you've got Manser, up at the top center. Manser and Patterson also going at it. Those were the two more intense altercations of the bunch. And Glonick is now in the penalty box for North Carolina.
This just goes to show you how the atmosphere during these games truly gets, and the energy level, I feel like it definitely gets turned up. We've seen the physicality, especially in the second period, get amplified as well.
And you add to that the fact that this is senior night for both teams, as North Carolina and NC State both honoring their seniors. Got a couple more players headed to the penalty box, one aside, or what amounts to two aside for both teams, but it'll be Darlene also off for NC State and Issa Manser for North Carolina. Interesting to see what the penalty calls are here, but I would imagine it's all matching. We should stay 5-on-5 here. Hopefully it won't get too much more out of control than that. It's been a very entertaining game so far. 2-0 NC State face-off on top of the Tar Heel blue line, won by Patrick O'Shaughnessy. And the Heels will go to work moving forward. Kari's shot deflected wide. In the corner, collision, two players go down. NC State to the loose puck, Ammons. This pass through the skates of Prasma, but tracked down by Kyler Sun. He'll walk in and shoot one high. NC State a good chance on the odd man rush there. Cam Bosch looking for Lucari. On and off his stick, NC State clears again. As we mentioned, 4 players in the penalty box, 2 on each side. Shook and Darlene for NC State, Glonick and Manser for North Carolina. We get the exact calls on what the penalties are. We'll pass along to you. Kaufman's shot off the stick of Wateska and into the screen. And now some more pushing and shoving. No surprise, Daniel Prasma right there in the middle of it for NC State.
Hey, but before that, that was a great, smart hockey play to leave the puck kind of on the blue line for Kaufman. He kind of elevated the puck a little bit too much, but all in all, a great play.
And it turns into an offensive zone faceoff for NC State as well. Herman will take the draw against Grady. 12:57 left in the second. No score here in period number 2, but NC State still with a 2-goal lead. Pass up to the blue line, little miscommunication there, and it escapes the zone. NC State will retreat, and Thronson sets up behind his own net. You can really kind of feel things settling down here from an atmospheric perspective. The crowd settled down. For NC State, you'd really like to give them something to get excited about. I do have confirmation all 4 penalties being served at the moment are roughing minors. So the first whistle after the 12-minute mark, which comes in 14 seconds, those players should be released. 12:14 left in the second period. It'll be an offensive zone draw here for North Carolina.
And Chris, this has been, it's still kind of an even game. If you look at puck possession and time in each other's zones.
Yeah, you look at especially the way the second period has gone, it's definitely been much more even. I think zone time still favors NC State slightly. But from a shot perspective, it is 5-4 in favor of the Tar Heels this period. Or rather 5-2, pardon me. And they've definitely been able to establish themselves better in the offensive zone. Near corner puck battle. First one to it, Smith. He'll play it up the wall. He's got Johnson. Sangster sends it right back, though. Icepack will try the other side. Herman, rink wide. It catches the stick of Johnson, but he can't control. He'll go in on the forecheck, trying to put some pressure on Will Hilton. The senior, with a lot of speed, has his wrist shot blocked by Sodden. Collected in the corner by Cobber. Worked around to the near side. Smith to it first again. Has Cash Bishop there to pressure. Finster at the blue line for the Heels, and it deflects off a player on the Tar Heel bench. And we'll get a stoppage with 11:18 to go. And everybody released from the sin bin now.
And Chris, that play by Hilton is kind of the UNC I'm used to seeing. I don't know if you as well, but when they have speed, they're a great team, and they're really hard to defend against.
Yeah, and it's a team that looks somewhat similar, I would say, to NC State when they're able to get to their game. Their forecheck is very difficult to deal with, and we've seen at times they've kind of done the same thing to NC State that NC State has done to them for most of this game. If they can keep it up, Kevin Mott played off the wall for Owen Kenny. Back down low. Finster shoots it in from the blue line. Glonick there under some pressure. Glove down by Finch of NC State. They'll look to play it forward, can't connect with Connie, and Kevin Ma shoots it right back down low. Approaching the halfway point of this game. With 5:09 left in the first period, it was Daniel Prasmo who forced a turnover and doubled NC State's lead. No score since then. Finch trying to thread one through. That pass is blocked on the break-in. Now Tar Heels have some trouble. Caught up in front. Turnaround shot for Rady, and Lucas Brown up to the task. He has played so well in his senior night game here, doing everything he can to keep the Tar Heels in this one. That was another grade A opportunity. Finch slaps it forward. Patterson has it hop his stick, but he does negate the icing as Javier Camboche back for it defensively. NC State doesn't have the numbers on the forecheck. Tar Heels will skate it out. Kenny's pass deflected and stolen. Now Labrizi for the Pack. Head up, skating through the neutral zone, gains the center ice line and dumps it in. Just under 10 minutes to go. Turnover behind the goal. Brown lost his stick, headed back in front, but he's going to have time to get it as NC State couldn't hold the zone. That was a great chance for NC State to add another. Now they'll dump it in and set up the forecheck. Shot up the near wall, deflected out by O'Shaughnessy and played along for Licari. Hands it off for Smith. He'll walk it in the near side. Save made by Toyer, and the rebound drops right in front of him to cover up. And NC State will have a defensive zone draw here with 9:23 to go in the second.
We saw that UNC defender kind of not know where the puck was, and Rady did a great job of having a quick reaction.
Here's a good look at it. Kevin Ma had the puck kind of stop on him there. I don't think you could say it's a puddle issue at this point in the period. The ice should be pretty kind of worn in. You shouldn't have too many damp spots, but a great chance, and then a turnover from Lucas Brown behind the net that could have spelled trouble as well. So Tar Heels dodging bullets right now. They're going to have to clean it up in their defensive zone a bit, or they could find this game out of reach soon.
But on that play by Rady, that goes to show why coaches always preach to have your stick on the ice. I mean, he was ready to turn around and shoot that puck right on Brown.
So 9:16 left in the period. NC State ices the puck. Yeah, that was one of the best saves from Brown tonight. It wasn't necessarily challenging, from a technical perspective, but he had to be ready at a moment's notice to make that save. NC State with the dump and chase. Prasma to it behind the goal. He'll circle. Steps through some pressure. It's a one-man cycle game. Turns it over, but Smith there at the blue line to knock it back in. Prasma's shot denied, and now Smith trying to clear and can't. Work back across, deflects off of Ammons and out of the zone. They'll work it back to the near side. Kaufman walking it in. Steps past his defender and behind the net. Be pinned to the wall there, and it turns into a four-man scrum. Ammons into support for the Pack. O'Shaughnessy also there for the Heels. He's caught up in the skates. Ammons finds the loose puck first. Skates it up that far wall, has Smith at the blue line. One-timer. Wide. Gifford on the rebound, throws it off a body in front. Now the Tar Heels will skate it out. Shaughnessy through neutral ice. He'll walk in looking for a shooting lane, and Cam Smith gets a stick in the way and deflects it into the ceiling.
Chris, you can always count on, at one NC State game, the puck going into the rafters.
Well, this was a good defensive play with the stick by Cam Smith. So he put it right there where the shot was coming through for Shaughnessy. That's what you got to be able to do against one of their best goal scorers. Shaughnessy, 8 goals in 19 games this season for the Tar Heels. Not quite a point per game player. He does lead the team in goals. NC State looking to break out up the near side, stuck to the wall. Tar Heels come away with it. Zukowski spins it in front. Grady with a chance in tight, and Toyer able to seal it off. Nodding his head in approval as well. Shot deflected by Lapani to the corner. Grady gets to it first. Behind for Williams. Good pressure here from North Carolina. Gifford gets a stick to it. He breaks up the flow and clears the zone, but it'll be gloved down and now skated right back in by Drew Smith. He tries to cut to the middle and loses the puck, and again, NC State clears the zone. Lapani gets to the dump in, slaps it forward, deflects off the stick of Johnson and deep. Shots now 15-11 in favor of NC State, but 7-4 this period in favor of the Tar Heels. Gifford deflects it off the glass and out, but NC State looking a little bit like North Carolina has for most of this game. They have not looked clean through the neutral zone for the last few minutes, and again it's turned over. Now Grady into the zone. His shot blocked by Thronson. Grady to it first, bodying up Thronson on the battle. Some help in there as well from Daniel Hu. Cobber plays it back up top, but he was looking for Grady, was going off for a change. Now, NC State with a chance. Rady knocks his man off the puck. Centered for Connie. Couldn't get the shot away. Looking back out in front for Rady under pressure. He'll play it back to the blue line, but Cobber intercepts that, and the Tar Heels escape with it. Shot in from the red line by Daniel Cobber. Toyer stops it behind the goal, tries to clear himself. Cobber knocks it down, finds Sangster behind the goal. Has Smith looking for it. One-timer. Blocked on the way through by Connie. Now Kevin Ma at the blue line. Connie with another block. Right back to Ma. Trying to throw it through traffic. That one misses wide of the goal. Aiden Rady to it. Poked off his stick by Cobber. Wristed off the blocker of Toyer, who steers it to the near side. Again, good sustained pressure here from the Heels. Thronson trying to knock his man off the puck. Able to knock him down, but can't take away possession as there's reinforcements there. Pass in the middle, picked off by Rady, but not cleared. Will Smith walking in, right off the pad of Toyer, who covers it up in the blue paint. NC State gets a much-needed stoppage. And here we go again after the whistle. No love lost between these two teams.
And NC State was kind of playing a little bit of desperate hockey. We saw them kind of collapse a little bit in their own zone. They were desperate in trying to get the puck out.
Right there is why you throw it on net. Toyer able to get to the rebound first, but sitting there for a moment, and the Heels had 2 white jerseys right in there around the crease. We weren't able to get a piece of it. Still 2-0 NC State. We've played now almost another full 20 minutes of hockey since that goal from Daniel Prasma made it 2-0. NC State wins the D-zone draw, but Darlene knocked off the puck. A little bit of a high hit there behind the net, but play will continue on as Govea able to skate the puck out. Working to the far side. Shoulders a hit as he dumps it into the zone. Shook in on the forecheck below the goal line. He'll knock it loose right to Patterson, who throws it off the side of the goal. Camboche now under pressure from Ben Patterson, who picks his pocket. Looking to the middle. Govea backhand try. That one didn't get to the goal as it hit Finster. And now the Tar Heels have control but can't break it out. Cam Smith at the blue line, back into the middle. Govea's shot is blocked in traffic, and the Tar Heels eventually able to skate it out. Kari, Finster, shot high and into the glass. NC State looking a little bit more like their first period selves on that last sequence. Tar Heels back in the offensive zone though. Smith plays it down behind the goal. Makari in there on the forecheck. Carolina needs a change though, so NC State has some space to try and formulate a breakout. Chipped down the ice by Govea. NC State needs a change. They're only going to be able to get one fresh set of legs out. Now the other two forwards will go. Darlene gets to the puck first and clears it out for the Ice Pack. Just over 4 minutes left here in the second. Crowd is quieted down. We really haven't seen a whole lot since that skirmish that put 4 players in the penalty box, and now the Tar Heels are offside. And the faceoff comes out on top of the NC State blue line. Darlene challenging a couple of Tar Heels, and he's going to have to be careful. They first had Zukowski, then it was, I believe, Kenny, and then after that, Smith. Officials will only let you get away with so much of it before they do put you in the penalty box, and he was towing the line there a little bit.
But before that, we saw NC State kind of not connecting on any of the passes. We saw them trying to regroup a lot. The neutral zone was not their friend.
It's been a much better second period from the Heels, but they have not been able to put a dent in the NC State lead. Only 2-0 though. Prasma looking to the middle. Under the stick of Jack Ammons. And we shot right back in by Joseph Wateska. NC State will set up the breakout again. Sun up the near wall. Ammons looking rink wide. It's touch forward for Prasma. He's going to walk in, and he puts it over the shoulder of Brown and out of play. The crowd was ready to explode for that one. That would have been a huge goal for NC State.
He was trying to do it like Prasma fashion. Top shelf, right where Grandma hides the cookies.
My grandma was nicer. She left them on the counter for me. 3.5 minutes left in period number 2. NC State with an offensive zone face-off here. Herman wins it back. But NC State unable to control as Gifford was run over in the process, thrown through the blue paint wide as the Tar Heels look to get set up again in the offensive zone. Sangster looking to the middle. Johnson comes away with the puck. To be touched forward by Herman. Gifford gives it right back, and the captain walks it in. Now that he worked up top, Johnson looking for a pinching Sodden, who hacks it down low. Played through the middle. NC State couldn't get a touch to it. A little less than 3 minutes remaining in the period. Tar Heels have carried the play, especially as of late. NC State with a little bit of a pushback. They'll go to work again here. Kyler Sun lifts it in. He'll go off for a change. NC State needs to change up their lines. Cobber will chip it in, and UNC will do the same. Bronson around the wall for Prasma. He had trouble controlling it, and Isamancer will throw it right back in. Prasma again on that far wall. Shovels it off the glass and down. Finster first to it for the Heels. He's under some pressure from behind. Ammons pestering him into the corner. Kaufman in there to help out as well. Prasma knocks it loose. Ammons now in the slot, and the shot fought off by Brown and out of play. Lucas Brown hasn't seen as many shots this period as he saw in the first. And now Prasma starting some things up. Get another look at that last chance, and oh, there's why Prasma was starting things up. That was a chop right to the midsection of Gifford. I wondered, we saw from the other angle in our booth as that play was live. I wondered what took him down. That makes a little more sense now. Also makes sense why there was a little bit of a hack from Prasma after the whistle there. Under 2 to go in the period. Heels win the faceoff, unable to clear on the first attempt. They'll reset behind their goal. Gambosh clears it out and takes a heavy hit. His clearance ends up on the stick of Zukowski, walking in, tied up nicely by Kaufman, and it'll be covered up by Toyer. One of the better chances for North Carolina right there. And again, NC State shuts them down.
If they had if he had an extra second or took an extra step, that could have been very dangerous for NC State.
Just not quite enough separation for Zukowski there. But that was the best chance we've seen so far for the Heels. And now they've got a chance to win an offensive zone draw. Finch against Grady. Grady wins it for North Carolina. Shot from the blue line. Finch gets a stick to it and blocks it. Now Austin Finch will skate it out. Walks into the zone and hands it off for Connie, who gives it back. Finch lost an edge, had some trouble with it. Icepack still in control though. Back up top, Smith looking for his defensive partner there, couldn't connect. And now Darlene gets back to it. Down low for Rady. Turnaround shot, saved, and the rebound held on to by Brown. Continues to have a fantastic game in the net for North Carolina.
And he's really been testing NC State this period so far.
The Ice Pack, 8 shots this period. Have not been able to beat Brown. They beat him twice on 11 shots in the first period. But that's one of the big differences. We talked about how North Carolina has carried more of the play than NC State this period, but I would still say NC State has had the higher quality chances, including a few at point blank range that Brown had to be Johnny on the spot for. Big block in front from Lapani. Another try from Lecari. That one's blocked as well. And it ends up out of play, and Connie a little bit stung after taking that slap shot. 44 seconds left in the second period. Get another look at the block. Gian Connie there.
But Chris, they always say sometimes you gotta block a shot to make a play.
O'Shaughnessy and Govea on the face-off. Patterson to the loose puck. NC State wins the D-zone draw. Floated forward. Shook trying to settle down a bouncing puck. He's bodied up, though, by Hilton. Patterson to the loose puck in the corner. He's going to be forced off it. Lecari will play it to the middle where North Carolina can work it out. Elevated pass, gloved down by Tate Sodden. NC State holds strong at their own red line. Cross ice for Lecari. He'll walk it in. Near circle, has it poked off his stick. NC State looking to break out. Hilton holds the blue line and shoots it back around. There's 10 seconds left in the period. Sodden pins it to the wall, looking to bleed out the rest of the clock. Tar Heels work it loose. One final try through the blue paint, and the clock will run out on period number 2. No goals, but plenty of action between these two teams, Grace, in the second 20 minutes.
And both of these teams had some great looks, just couldn't capitalize and put one in the back of the net. So it'll be interesting. You can kind of see and feel right now in Invisalign the energy and how much the physicality has turned up in the second period. And you know that is definitely going to carry over into the third.
Well, NC State still leading it 2-0 over the Tar Heels. An emotional but scoreless second period. And I think if you're North Carolina, you've got something to build off of heading into the third. I think they did pretty much exactly what they wanted to do in that period, other than put it in the back of the net.
And for UNC, we really saw them wake up this period. We saw them have sustained zone time. We saw them also have more chances and shots on Toyer. So the third period is kind of up to whoever to put one in the back of the net.
Oh, we talked about whether Toyer would be ready if he saw more shots in the second period. He stopped all 10 that he faced, and he keeps NC State up 2-0. We'll be back with the second intermission after this.
We are here at Invisalign Arena. I'm Grace Mottau, joined by NC State's Coach Mira. Coach, it's more than just a rivalry game tonight. It's senior night. So how has it been as the coach to these 4 amazing seniors, watching them grow over the past couple seasons?
It's been great. I mean, I've been here. This is my, 5th year, almost 6th year. So just seeing these guys grow up in the last 4 years, you can't really ask for more. They brought a different kind of leadership to this team. A couple of years ago when we had COVID, it was kind of their first year, kind of coming in the last year and a half essentially. It's been great, and there's nothing you can ask for. The guys that are out there leading, you can tell on the ice too that they're playing hard. They're always here to compete. They're always here to play. So it's been great as a coach.
And you guys split the series against Louisville. So what have you guys brought into this game? You talked about you have your leaders. I mean, I've interviewed Govea, Herman, and you name it, and Labrizi as well. And they're just great guys to talk to. You can really see how their leadership translates to the ice.
Yeah, so I mean, the Louisville series was, we started off slow. It was a long bus ride up there. It's not really an excuse at this level, but at the same time, we were able to get that second win and have a really big lead. I think it was like 6 or 7 goals. So it's one of those things that's really nice to have that. But it comes back to the leaders. It comes back into the locker room. They're always getting the guys ready. You can hear them probably up here yelling on the benches all the time. It's always about an intensity that they bring. They're always kind of there for the team. So having the leaders there, having that last weekend, it's big because we travel again next weekend. So it's kind of like you make a travel, you come back home for one game and a very important game too. And then you go back for your ACC playoffs, which is your important games at the end of the year.
Yeah, quick turnaround, but we've seen you guys do it before and do it well. So you guys still have the lead right now, but after a scoreless period, what are you saying to the guys?
Yeah, I think we didn't really play our period that one. You can kind of tell the ice tilted a little bit. UNC was definitely finding their feet. They were moving the puck a little bit more. We kind of settled into a more of a defensive position, which is not really what we are. We're always wanting our speed. We're always wanting our forecheck and attacking. So it's getting back. I think you had Govea on earlier for the first intermission, and it was all about speed and heart, right? And that's what I told him at that period. I'll probably go back to this. It's like you got to get back to your forecheck. You got to get back to your speed. You got to make sure you get back to our systems. Play our game. Let's not play down to their game.
And Chris and I have always talked about how speed is a great asset to you guys. We saw in Prasma's goal about how speed truly helped him. And even with Gifford's goal, we talked about how timing and knowing where the puck kind of was going to come out was a great asset.
Yeah, and both of those started with like a really hard forecheck, right? So they're going in with speed. I mean, Prasma's was his own goal, right? He created that pressure. He was using his speed, and he got there, and he was attacking their D, and it turned it over. So we saw a lot of that in the first period. We back off in the second period, not doing that as much. So it's just getting back to what we did the first period. We really got to get back on our forecheck, be aggressive, finish our hits. You can kind of see all the little things that they're doing after the whistle. That's a rival game, right? It's UNC, NC State. Everybody hates each other at the end of the day. So it's just one of those, get back to our systems, get back to our speed, and let's walk out of here with a win.
And we look forward to seeing those adjustments you guys plan to make. I will be back with Chris after this.
Chris Lehman and Grace Mottau back with you after 40 minutes here at Invisalign Arena, and it's still a 2-0 lead for NC State. Grace, very different second period than what we saw in the first. NC State really dictated play, and we saw it on the scoreboard, a 2-0 lead for the Ice Pack. A little bit more of a pushback, though, from North Carolina in that second period. And I talked to Coach Mira just before he stepped on with you, and he talked about the team was playing on their heels a little bit more and not on their toes like they were in the first.
No, he spoke about how they're playing a little more defensively, and he said that's not how we play. So he really is preaching to get back to their systems. We've seen a great offensive push in the first period. He really hopes to bring that over into the third. We saw with Prasma's goal, speed, and he talked about speed and heart, how those are kind of NC State's assets.
Yeah, speed has been a theme tonight for the Ice Pack. We heard it from alternate captain Joey Govea as well. But the story right now, the goaltending. Both goaltenders looking good. Brown and Toyer combining to stop all 18 shots last period. And we'll start with the NC State netminder here, Grace. Toyer, we talked about only 4 shots seen in the first period. We wondered how he'd react if he was busier in the second period. He was not fazed by 10 shots.
No, he did not disappoint, and Toyer is a name that we've talked about a lot during the broadcast. He truly has helped keep NC State in this game.
Yeah, and speaking of keeping your team in the game, Lucas Brown has done a great job. He didn't see as much action in period number 2. 11 shots in the first period, 8 in the second, but he saw 3 or 4 really high-quality, high danger chances right around the crease, and he did a great job of being ready at a moment's notice.
And I talked about in the broadcast about how in the first period he was kind of a little, conservative about his puck control, but now going into the second, we've really seen him kind of be a lot more conscious about it.
Yeah, and both of these goaltenders are going to have to play well in the third and final period, because this one not decided yet. It never is when it's a 2-goal game between NC State and North Carolina. We're going to take one more break. When we come back, we'll take a look ahead at period number 3, 2-0 NC State. Just about set for period number 3 between NC State and North Carolina. Chris Lehman and Grace Mottau with you as we take a look ahead to the third and final period. And of course, as we talked about at the end of that last segment, a lot about the goaltenders. They are going to be key in this third period. I think the goaltender that blinks first in this third period might end up being the difference in this game.
And it truly does come down to goaltending in games like this. I said that during the Governor's Cup, and I was proven to be right.
And you look at the way this game has gone to, NC State controlled play in the first period. It was more about what UNC was doing in the second. The Tar Heels have not been able to finish. So this first goal of the third period is going to be extremely important. If NC State gets it, they're really in the driver's seat, but Carolina can make it a hockey game again too.
Yeah, it's anyone's game. You got 20 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, it's going to be a very fun final period. 2-0 NC State. We'll be back with the third.
I would never show my teeth. Never. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's going to take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens. Or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons. Hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese.
Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Happy birthday, Max.
Yes! I'm Joe on the phone, here to show you 4 easy ways to stay safe online. Come on.
We can secure our world. When you choose your passwords, make them strong. Use a password manager to help you along. But don't just use a password alone. Get a call, get a text, or a code on your phone.
MFA really works.
We can secure our world. When it's time to update an app, don't you hesitate. Do it ASAP.
Just like that.
Watch out for offers too good to be true. What? It's probably someone trying to take advantage of you.
Hey, that's fishy.
Let's report it. Install updates. Make better passwords. Think before you click. Use multiple factors. That's how we can secure our world.
Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
For each life moment, your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. Your kids may be eligible now, even if you've applied before. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Get started now at insurekidsnow.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
The all-new ESPN app has arrived. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. It's your home for the most and best live sports and a whole new way to experience ESPN. With over 47,000 live events, studio shows, and ESPN originals and brand new features, it's a sports fan's dream. Check out Multiview and watch up to 4 games at once. Or track your fantasy team while you watch TV. The future of sports has arrived, and it's called ESPN. So download the ESPN app on your TV or mobile device, log in, and start streaming.
We are just about set for the third and final period. NC State with a 2-0 lead over North Carolina on senior night. A packed house here for this one. Final home game of the season. Both of these teams will be headed up to Delaware for the ACCHL M1 playoffs next weekend. NC State right in on the attack off the drop. Prasma dancing around one man. He gets tied up, and NC State very quickly going to go on the power play as Daniel Prasma was on the brink of scoring his second of the night. Probably not a bad play there from Will Hilton. You don't want to let the leading goal scorer for the Ice Pack just walk in alone.
No, and that was a great first shift by Daniel Prasma. That's exactly what you want, a quick start. We saw in the first period how a quick start really led to them getting their first one in the net.
North Carolina clears immediately off the draw. And NC State will have to reset the power play right out of the gate. Ammons goes rink wide. Little collision, down goes a defenseman for North Carolina. That leaves things open, they score! One-timer, and it's Johnson, 3-0 Ice Pack.
And Chris, Johnson was really patient on that shot. He was kind of the last person in and was in the right place at the right time.
That's the second power play goal of the night for NC State. Brown maybe had a little bit of trouble finding it through traffic. For NC State, a big one to make it 3-0. We talked about the first goal of this period was going to be important. NC State has control of this contest, and as we talked about, North Carolina controlled more of the play in the second period. They still didn't have the majority of the high danger chances there. Especially now that they're down 3-0. That could become a bit of an issue. Hammonds with the shot right into the glove of Brown. He'll squeeze it, and we'll get a face-off in the UNC zone.
And Chris, from the angle we're at right now in the booth, it looks like the ice is taking a little bit longer to settle. I see a few little puddles down there, so that may make it a little more difficult.
I noticed that at the beginning of the second period. It looks a little puddly down there in front of the North Carolina bench, just inside of their blue line. Keep an eye on how long it takes for that. And the thing is, it might not totally freeze up. You have a lot of people in a confined space, and if you go out into this rink space after the games are over, it's a good 45, 50 degrees at least out there. So it's not going to be as easy for it to cool down. Grady, backhand try wide. Behind the net, they'll battle for it. Pops loose where the Tar Heels can control. Zukowski shot ricochets wide of the goal. Joey Govea with the assist on the goal for Johnson. Of course, NC State now with a 3-goal lead. Right back into the offensive end. Kaufman. Give and go there with Johnson. That gets shut down. Tar Heels back the other way. Pass off the stick of Sangster, so no icing. Rapani trying to leave it for his D partner there, but it's stolen away by Sangster. And now the Tar Heels can go to work. Caught up in skates in the low slot. NC State finds it. Clearance is blocked down though. Finster swats it back in from the blue line. NC State forces it up that near wall and elevates it to the far side now. Pressure on Camboche by Shook. Knocks his man down and sweeps it deep. Now Patterson on the forecheck. Finster will move it around the wall. NC State unable to win the board battle. Cobber skates it out for the Tar Heels. One-man break in for Daniel Cobber. Play to the middle. He couldn't find the stick of Daniel Hu. Another close call for the Tar Heels, who are still looking to break the shutout. I'm sure at this point with a 3-0 lead, you're not going to really change the way you're playing if you're NC State, but let's put a little extra emphasis on trying to get your senior netminder that clean sheet in his senior night. Shot coming, glove save. Toyer, he'll hold on to it, and a face-off to his blocker side. Challenge there by Will Hilton.
And if you're NC State, you want to make sure in front of Toyer, you're picking up sticks and moving people towards the outside to really help him out in a game like this.
NC State has done a pretty good job of that. You saw it right there on that last shot. Easy angle to manage for Toyer. Tar Heels win the offensive zone draw. Shot through traffic, deflects high and wide. Fight for it along the near half wall now. NC State has it. Behind the net, it'll be shot around. Cam Blahnik to it first. He sweeps it back down low. Nice pack to it first again, Rady. Into the wall there. Getting some help from Gianconti. Labrizi comes away with it. Back up that near side. NC State able to clear the zone this time. Finch gets a touch to it, can't control as Smith takes it away. His breakout pass ends up on the stick of Thronson. Thronson chips it in, right back to Smith. He's going to skate it out this time. Trying to skate right through the NC State defense. Couldn't take the puck with him. Now Hilton will reset. He's bodied up by Rady at the red line. Shot all the way down the ice. This is going to be behind the red line though. And it's icing on the Tar Heels. They can't make a change. And now NC State will send out that top line of Ammons, Prasma, and Kaufman to face some tired Tar Heel legs.
And NC State was kind of relentless. Whenever UNC got the puck, they made sure they had a body there to take it away.
Kaufman to take the draw against Owen Kenny. Kenny wins it for the Tar Heels. UNC looking to clear. Kicked forward by Owen Kenny, and now North Carolina can make that much needed change. Smith leaves it back behind the goal. Touched forward. Intended for Kaufman on the stretch pass. Whistle blew too early on the icing call. The linesman immediately signaled to center ice as Lucas Brown ended up touching that puck.
You could hear some yelling after that kind of early call.
A little bit of a break there for the Tar Heels. NC State had a chance to get set up there. But UNC's going to have to find a way to get going on the offensive end of the ice because they now need 3 goals to tie. Devin Mott plays it around the wall from the blue line. Captain O'Shaughnessy to it, but it slides under his stick, and NC State's back the other way. Centering pass intercepted by Lucari and shot in. It's back on the breakout. Ammons has plenty of space through neutral ice. We'll give and go with Kaufman. Back to the center. Handed off to Ammons again. He gets tied up with a couple of teammates. Doesn't have any other options but to throw it around the wall. Kaufman first there for the Pack. Trying to play it up the wall. Can't connect with Kyler Son, and O'Shaughnessy will clear. Nice back to it. Gifford's pass through the neutral zone intercepted. Will Smith going to walk it in. Played along the blue line. O'Shaughnessy hands it off now. Shot coming from Cam Bosch. That's another one that's easy to handle for Isaac Toyer.
Chris, I've seen NC State do a lot of behind-the-back passes. We've talked about indirect passes and how those have worked great for them on the breakout, but so far we've seen a lot of turnovers happen because of their behind-the-back passes. So especially if you're up 3-0, you may want to be a little more cautious.
Yeah, you certainly can't afford a goal now on a careless mistake. Would give North Carolina life and plenty of time to make up what would then be a 2-goal deficit. Certainly don't want to get too careless at this stage of the game. Herman chasing down the puck. He beats Zukowski to it in the corner. Looking out in front. Intended for Johnson, but it's intercepted and cleared. Now NC State going to have to chase back after it. Icing waved off as Gifford almost made a play on it. That's why they decided to let play continue. NC State will bring it back out after Reese Johnson intercepts the pass. Gifford galloping into the zone. Forces it behind the goal. Some help there from Johnson, who moves it back up top for Labrizi. D with Sun. Shoots it wide into the back wall. Pinching in, Labrizi holds the zone. Work back behind the net. Picked up there by Finster. He's got the time and space to clear. Kyler Sun, though, sends it right back in from the red line. NC State getting a fresh forward line and a fresh defensive pairing out there as they continue to put the pressure on. Camboche now. Wide, taken off the wall by Daniel Hu. He gets hit hard as he shoots it into the far corner. Bronson back to it for NC State. Worked along Labrizi trying to fork it forward. Has some help there from Nick Shook. Comes away with it. Chips it along for Patterson to chase down, but they're going to whistle it for icing. And NC State will have to come back to their own end.
And Chris, this period so far has been all NC State.
Yeah, NC State getting back to their game. This is kind of, what we've seen for most of the season from the Ice Pack against the majority of their opponents. Of course, they played some top 10, top 15 teams in the country, and in those situations, it's not necessarily the same. But anything else outside of that, if NC State is able to get to their game and play the way they want to play, they can dictate a game against just about anybody. And I think you look at the first and third periods, and then the contrast of the second period, and that is exactly what we've seen here tonight as well.
Yeah, they play good 5-on-5 in this game as well. They've been locking down on defense and scoring some really greasy goals.
Swatted out now by Nick Shook. Moving forward, diving play made by Drew Smith. What a hustle by the defenseman to break up what could have been a dangerous odd man rush. NC State not done yet, though. Pressure at the blue line. Shook trying to settle down the puck. They'll retreat to neutral ice and fired around the wall. Brown sets it up for Hilton. Cobber pushed along. Sangster couldn't take it with him. And now Govea shoots it right into the glove of Brown. Darlene had some trouble avoiding the goaltender. Tar Heels take some exception to that, but I don't think much will come of that as the clock stops with 12:43 to go.
But the play before that by Drew Smith on UNC was just a really great, gritty hustle play to dive, and sometimes that's a really hard play to make.
There's a look at the altercation or what caused it. Darlene, just a little bit too much speed coming in. Face-off will be to the far side of the Tar Heel net. It's Austin Finch centering Aiden Rady and Gian Connie out there for NC State. Owen Kenny out there along with Issa Manser, as well as Cash Bishop on the forward end for the Heels. Battle for it at the red line. Connie settling it down, heavy hit by Darlene, and he's going to be headed to the penalty box because the man he hit was Owen Kenny, and Owen Kenny did not have the puck.
And this could be the difference for UNC.
Another look at it here. See the puck tied up along the wall. I don't know if Darlene expected the puck to come to Kenny or not, but he's going to be in the penalty box. I'd imagine 2 minutes for interference. And an opening here for the Tar Heels, as you mentioned, Grace, if they can make something happen on this power play. Drew Smith upended. Tar Heel bench protested momentarily. Play will continue. Here's Will Hilton. Work back down low. O'Shaughnessy up for Hilton again. Surveys the land. O'Shaughnessy plays it back down low again. Centering pass deflects into the slot and cleared out by Finch. NC State 30 seconds through the penalty kill. Stretch pass. Kari unable to deflect it in. NC State sends it right back down the rink. 1:15 left on the man advantage for the Heels. Hilton looking over his options. Likes to go with O'Shaughnessy. Back across. He skated it by Will Smith. Smith in the corner. Turns back for Camboche. Cross ice pass deflected and cleared. Great play by Gian Connie.
Great and smart hockey play by Connie.
.45 seconds left on the power play for North Carolina. Camboche has some speed to the neutral zone, walking on in. He gets tied up, and this might turn into a 5-on-3 here. Camboche going right back at Labrizi and Connie. He didn't like the play. We'll see. The official out near center ice didn't have a hand up, but I gotta think the official in the corner did, and it will be Gian Connie to the penalty box, and a 5-on-3 for 35 seconds for North Carolina. This was an easy one to call. That's a textbook hooking hands or stick on the hands for Connie.
If Connie had one more step, I feel like he could have got more of a piece of that UNC player, but at the end of the day, UNC now has another power play.
And most importantly, they've got 35 seconds of 5-on-3, so if NC State here can win the draw and clear, that would do it for most of the 5-on-3. But if the Tar Heels can get set up, they've got plenty of time to make something happen.
And it's really hard for a 5-on-3. If you're NC State, there's no real textbook way to, you just have to play defense, but you can't do man-to-man. You can't, it's really hard. You obviously can't do a box. I mean, you got to do a triangle and kind of move how you see fit.
I think North Carolina's head coach Steve Rice is, sensing the importance of the next 35 seconds, and in particular, what happens immediately after the face-off. Because assuming North Carolina is able to win it, they're going to have to set something up fairly quickly to give themselves a good chance on the 5-on-3.
And that just goes to show you how important this face-off is going to be just positionally. If you're UNC, you might want to overload one side, have a righty shoot it, or if you're NC State, you really have to be conscious of where you think the puck's going to go, and if you 100% can win this face-off back.
To be their best face-off man, Holden Kaufman, to take the draw against Patrick O'Shaughnessy. Best face-off man for the Tar Heels. Important face-off here. 5-on-3 for 35 seconds. O'Shaughnessy wins the draw. Hilton high slot. Little give and go. Takes the one-timer. It deflects wide. O'Shaughnessy back to the rebound. Played back up top for Hilton. Down to 20 seconds of 5-on-3. Shot deflected wide again. And once more, the Tar Heels to it first. Will Smith hands it off for Zukowski. 12 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Zukowski fans on the shot. Kaufman without a stick can't clear, but he gets some help from his defenseman Thronson, and NC State able to kill off the first power play in the 35 seconds of 5-on-3, but still time on the second power play for the Heels. Now O'Shaughnessy shot wide of the goal. Kari to the rebound. Hilton walking with it again. Into the circle, O'Shaughnessy back up to Hilton. Blocker save made by Toyer on the high slot shot. Pass out to the blue line. Licari wasn't paying attention. Nobody there, and he cleared the zone. Now the puck on edge, turned over by O'Shaughnessy. Short-handed NC State in, but Govea dragging the leg. Couldn't stay on side. And so the faceoff comes out into the neutral zone, but NC State already halfway through the penalty to Gian Connie.
Chris, we need to talk about Holden Kaufman for a second. Playing without a stick when you only have two other players out there, that is kind of a testament to how good your positioning kind of has to be.
He did a good job getting in the way of that shot. Unfortunately, he had no stick to clear, but he had Thronson behind him. And now still 5-on-4 for the Tar Heels for another 55 seconds as Lapani off the face-off win slaps it back behind the UNC net. Tar Heels 0 for 3 on the man advantage at risk of going 0 for 4 here. Conversely, NC State 2 for 3. Special teams, a big difference maker in this game so far. Gamboa's trying to force his way in along the goal line, extended and can't. NC State clears again. This time Patterson in on the forecheck as we're down under 30 seconds left of power play time for North Carolina. Grady skated in with speed as he gains the blue line. He's knocked down by Lapani. Puck ends up behind the goal. Finch can't clear. Turns into a board battle in the corners. You get a look up close. Sawden trying to jar it loose. Tar Heels have it with the extra man. Loose in the low slot, and NC State clears as the power play expires, so no icing. And NC State escapes a little bit of danger there late in the man advance. Still loose along the side of the goal. Johnson complaining Tar Heels were changing. He wanted too many men, but play will continue. Herman receives the pass at the blue line. Walks it in, looking for Johnson breaking in, but it'll slide in on Brown, who holds on for the faceoff. 8:39 to go. Tar Heels running out of time to bounce a comeback.
And NC State on the penalty kill. That was a really hard penalty kill for them to kill off.
Here's the hit from Lapani. Strong on the blue line. Here's the offensive zone face-off for NC State, but Tar Heels almost ended up dropping the puck with 6 skaters out there. And now off the face-off, tied up in skates in that far circle. Sangster comes away with it. Tar Heels will set up the breakout. Manser up the wall. Darlene can't hold the zone, but NC State will take control. Now Gifford across for Johnson. Gets it back from Herman and throws it off the side of the goal. Back behind the net, Manser knocks his man off the puck. Clearance up the wall, Darlene pinches but can't hold. Blahnik now up the near side. Fires it around the wall. Cam Smith there for NC State. Finds Gifford. Gifford's breakout pass caught a skate. Try again off the glass. This one successfully out of the zone, but a little too much on it. It's icing. 7:53 left in the game.
That one had a little too much zing. But, Chris, I have to say, for UNC's power play, we saw their zone entry. They had a really great zone entry with a really hard thing to do for the penalty kill is to defend on someone who has speed, especially if you're UNC, you really want to establish yourself in the zone. And they got that a little bit, but NC State, again, was dominant on their penalty kill.
Tar Heels with an offensive zone face-off, and Will Smith can't connect with the one-timer. They'll battle for it in the near corner. Heavy hit there from Darlene to knock it loose. North Carolina comes away with it, pass into the slot. NC State to it first. They're going to skate it out, big-time numbers. 3-on-1. Gifford looking to the middle. Oh, he couldn't quite connect with Johnson, and Herman on the follow-up couldn't help out. Now the Tar Heels back the other direction. As Vakari's shot off the stick of Toyer. Played off the wall, past Johnson and not out of the zone. Worked right back behind the net. Labrizi and O'Shaughnessy in a battle behind the cage. Puck pops loose for Johnson to collect. Played up the wall. Labrizi pokes it out of the zone as he takes a hit. And he'll head off to the bench under a little bit of duress there. Space there for Will Hilton to skate forward and dump it in. Tar Heels making some changes. Back across, Ammon sends it in. Krasma loses an edge and can't get to it. Here's Issa Manser. Pass up the middle on the breakout finds Grady. Along for Williams, who touches it into the zone. Lapani first there, pickpocketed though by Williams. Now he'll look for an option up top. Manser's turnaround shot hits a skate, and again, losing an edge was Krasma. But he finds Ammons anyhow. Ammons knocked off the puck. Krasma there on the follow-up, takes the shot, and he catches the glass behind. And in front of the Tar Heel bench, Kaufman finds the loose puck and loops it into that far corner. Heels there first, Grady. Stretching it out for Zukowski, but stretched it a little bit too far. So an icing called. Offensive zone face-off now for NC State with 5:57 to go. There's that hit on Labrizi. He was a little bit slow getting back up. We'll keep our eyes peeled for him back on the ice.
And Chris, this has been kind of turnaround hockey. 1 second UNC has it, the next it goes back to NC State, but
looks like a little bit of a dispute in terms of who's supposed to be on the ice for North Carolina. Somebody's got to come off, though. They've got 6 skaters. And the Tar Heels are a bit confused here. This is working in their favor, though. They're getting a little bit of extra rest here with the lengthened stoppage. But they're going to have to figure out who has to come off the ice, because there are 6. It looks like Daniel Cobber is going to be the chosen one to come to the bench. Govea and Grady on the faceoff. And it's Grady for the Tar Heels with the win. Finds Finster, who circles by the goal. Broken out by the Tar Heels. Cross ice pass to Zukowski, who dumps it in. And Smith hacks at it below the goal line. NC State back up the near side. Loose puck collected by Govea. His centering pass disrupted and picked off. Zukowski has it taken away by Darlene. NC State back into the offensive end. Shook with the shot wide. Heavy hit along the near side by Govea on Sangster. Tar Heels still in control of the puck though. Sangster throws it off the glass and out. NC State with the delayed offsides has to check up. Gambosh, Cobber, forced along for Daniel, who just 5 minutes left in this game. Shots are 23-20 in favor of NC State. And despite being outplayed for a good portion of this period, Tar Heels are leading in the shot category this period, 6-4. But NC State with the all-important goal to make it 3-0. As Nick Shook comes in offside, Patterson got bumped in by one of the Tar Heel defensemen. He was a little bit irked by that. Neutral zone face-off upcoming here.
And Chris, I feel like UNC is still in this game. They've had a lot of good offensive pushes, just haven't been able to get the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, the main difference in this game has been quality of chances and finishing. Tar Heels' chances have gotten better here in the third. I do think NC State has still had the better chances. And of course, Ice Pack 2 for 3 on the power play. The Tar Heels 0 for 4. There's still time. 4:15 left in the game. 3-0 NC State. The main storyline now for the Ice Pack in this one is, can they get through the next 4 minutes and 8 seconds as the Tar Heels ice the puck? Can they get through that last 4:08 and give Isaac Poyer one final shutout here on senior night?
But they already made it through the hardest part, which was the 5-on-3. So
It'll be an offensive zone draw here. Finch wins it, but Gianconni was in early, so they'll have to do it over. Now Aiden Rady in on the draw. Owen Kenny able to win it. He gets tangled up with the stick of Aiden Rady. Will continue play. Lapani leaves it for Finch. Backhanded across for Sun. He takes a heavy hit at the red line as he sends it in. Finch, avoiding the hit from Blahnik, dumps it into the North Carolina zone. Stretch pass, catches a couple of sticks, so no icing. As the Tar Heels try to put some pressure on in their offensive zone. Clock bleeding away here on North Carolina. Turnover. Oh, and Kenny in a diving play by Lapani. He got the puck first, so no hand up for tripping there. And he might have saved the shutout there. We've got a little bit of extracurriculars behind the goal. And I think both Aiden Rady and I believe that is Owen Kenny of North Carolina are going to be headed to the penalty box with 3:17 to go. I think Rady might have gotten out of there unscathed had he not thrown a little extra there as we get a look at the hustle play from Lapani.
And Rady got his stick kind of slashed away from him, so I feel like that was kind of a little bit of payback. He had a little bit of vengeance with that hit.
It will be Owen Kenny in the penalty box for North Carolina. We will stay at full strength here with 3:17 to go. What kind of rivalry game would it be if you didn't have 10-plus penalties? I've got 15 penalties between the two teams, so
it would not be a UNC versus NC State game then.
There was a lot of talk about the penalty minute totals in the season series for Tampa Bay and Florida this year. They are allowed, I say in quotations, to fight and accrue 5-minute and 10-minute misconduct penalties, which can add to that total. You can't do that necessarily in a game like this. You're not going to see it because fighting and things of that nature result in a suspension at this level. But 30 minutes in penalties is pretty impressive when you consider the fact that they're all 2-minute minors.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers have my favorite instigator, Brad Marchand.
NC State clears the zone as we get back underway. It actually appears to be a power play here for North Carolina, 5-on-4. One last chance here for UNC. It's their 5th power play of the evening. One last chance to make things interesting. Cleared down the zone by NC State's penalty kill. 30 seconds gone on the man advantage. Or no, pardon me, empty net for North Carolina. So it is 4-on-4. But with the empty net extra skater, it's a 5-on-4 for the Tar Heels. Wasn't necessarily expecting to see an empty net as Ammon shoots and misses. Across the red line, so no icing. And we'll carry on. 2:20 to go in the game. 1 minute left until Rady and Kenny come out from their matching minors. Ambush behind the goal. Protecting the puck as Labrizi bodies him up. Move to the near side wall. Popped up in the air, swatting at it there. Lucari couldn't get a touch to it. Hoffman going to glove it down and clear it out. Diving play made by Kevin Ma. And he's able to save a potential empty net goal there. Now we'll start the breakout with 1:45 to go. Dropped off for Cam Bosch. Went through his skates. Zukowski there to collect. He'll move in down the right wing. In the corner, it gets deflected out of play.
And Chris, they say one of the hardest goals to score in a hockey game is actually an empty net goal. And Ammons can probably attest to that.
Yeah, it looks a little bit easier than it is sometimes.
And you never really practice it in practice. Like, what coach is going to be like, all right, guys, we have to practice our empty net shots.
Well, offensive zone draw here for North Carolina. Still 5-on-4 with the empty net. Rady and Kenny coming out of the penalty box, though, in 18 seconds. 1:35 left in the game. Now Grady will be forced out of the face-off circle. Zukowski against Patterson, who wins it for NC State. Ice Pack can't clear, though. Deflected off the stick of Patterson and high. Here's Drew Smith. Over for Hilton. Both players back out onto the ice after the 2 minor penalties are up. Cross ice pass misses everybody. We're down to the final minute, 8 seconds. Senior Isaac Toyer trying to finish off a senior night shutout. NC State back the other way. Patterson throws it off the post from just inside the red line. Trying to spin one to the middle, couldn't corral the puck. Govea fires and scores. Empty netter for the senior and the alternate captain. That will definitely seal it 4-0 NC State.
And what a special time to get a goal on your senior night, have your family here, and against your rival.
So NC State up now 4-0. As they've been able to take back control of this hockey game in the third period. Credit to the Tar Heels. Definitely improved their play as this game went on. The second period probably their strongest, but unfortunately for the Tar Heels, their inability to finish, and particularly finish on the power play. They are 0 for 4 on the man advantage tonight. Has been the difference in this hockey game. And you go back now to that Governor's Cup win for NC State at the end of November. In their last 2 meetings with North Carolina, assuming the score holds for the final 30 seconds, they have outscored North Carolina 11-0 in the last 2 times these teams have met up. Tar Heels in their own end. Prasma couldn't hold the blue line. Owen Kenny has it taken away by Govea. Labrizi threads it up the middle for Prasma. Prasma just going to shoot it in from inside the red line. 13 seconds left in this one. Oh, it's going to be another great senior night for the NC State Ice Pack as Zach Herman, Joey Govea, and Nick Labrizi get the 4-0 win on senior night. And Isaac Toyer with the fishing celebration as he picks up a senior night shutout.
And what a special night. You have Govea scoring on senior night. You have Toyer with the shutout. I don't think you get any more special than that. Hey, NC State picked up another W against UNC this week as well.
Yeah, it has been good pickings for NC State athletics against North Carolina. This will be the final handshake line here at Invisalign Arena this year. As we mentioned, these 2 teams heading up to Delaware, the University of Delaware hosting the ACCHL M1 playoffs next weekend. We'll see how the Ice Pack can fare there, but a 4-0 victory for NC State. And I think what you really think about here is the seniors for NC State, and particularly their goaltender, Isaac Toyer. Toyer over the last couple of seasons has played a little bit less of a role between the pipes. He's had to cede some of that time to some of the new goaltenders who have come in. He's done a really good job of just taking the starts he's been given, and here tonight he's rewarded with a shutout in this final game.
And when I talked to Coach Miura, he really sang his praise for all of his senior leaders. He talked about how kind of they are like the heart of the team, and we really got to see that all throughout this season, especially in tonight's game where we got to honor them.
And we've been talking about it as this game is wound down, but I think you always talk about how special teams can be a difference maker. It can definitely be a difference maker in a rivalry game like this, and I think that's really what I turn to with this game. NC State certainly looked like the better team for the majority of the contest, even though they only end up winning 4-0, but a big reason they end up winning this game is because of special teams. Had the special team roles been reversed, it would have been a much tighter game, and North Carolina, despite not having their best, would have had a good chance at winning this game. But when NC State goes 2 for 3 and North Carolina goes 0 for 4, it definitely is going to make things hard on the Tar Heels. Well, the Ice Pack now gathering in front of the Frigid Sound for one final rendition of the NC State alma mater. But the Ice Pack shut out the North Carolina Tar Heels here at Invisalign Arena. The seniors go home happy. Their senior goaltender, Isaac Toyer, gets the shutout, and the Ice Pack, with some momentum, will head into the ACCHL playoffs next week. We will take a quick break here up in the booth. When we come back, we'll be talking with at least the senior goaltender with the shutout, Isaac Toyer. We'll wrap things up with head coach Tim Healy as well. But for now, final score, NC State with 2 late ones in the third period finish it up 4-0 as the seniors celebrate with their student section. We'll be back with postgame.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. NC State on senior night with a victory over the North Carolina Tar Heels 4-0. Chris Lehman alongside Grace Mottau, and Grace, NC State got back to their game in the third period. Tar Heels made it a lot more even of a third period than we saw when NC State controlled the first, but still the Ice Pack able to find the back of the net a couple of times and put this one away.
We talked about how they really hadn't played a game in a while, and we're not used to the game kind of speed, and we saw that in their first period. Their second period and third period were all around much better for them, but again, it's about puck luck. They did not receive any puck luck. They got within a few good chances of Isaac Toyer, but that just goes to show you about how ready and focused and determined Toyer was tonight for NC State.
Yeah, and of course it's senior night. We look at the seniors on this team. Great way for them to send things off in their final home game. A shutout against the team they like to beat the most. Joey Govea gets an empty net goal. Isaac Toyer gets the shutout. A great all-around effort for the seniors in the lineup tonight. I believe Nick Labrizi figured in with an assist as well. So a great night for the seniors to finish things off also.
And it's such a special night because they did add another win for NC State against UNC.
Oh, of course. And you don't want to be too sentimental about it for the seniors because the season is not over. They got the ACCHL M1 playoffs coming up next weekend, and this team's got some momentum going into that tournament. Of course, a 4-0 win here against the Tar Heels, who will also be up there for the playoffs, and of course, taking down Louisville 8-1, a big win on the road to end last weekend. Helps to have that momentum.
It does. Momentum is such a huge thing in hockey. We saw it even at the start of this period. So to have that going into the playoffs, it's just what you need. It's kind of that playoff push. You get a little bit of rest, but then you're right back at it next week.
Well, NC State going to look to come out victorious in the first ACCHL M1 playoffs next weekend. We're going to talk to some of our seniors when we come back here post-game.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. I'm Grace Mottau, joined by NC State's two seniors, Nick Labrizi and Isaac Toyer. After a pretty dominant showing against rival UNC, came out with a 4-0 win. You guys had a packed barn tonight. How special was tonight for you? You guys had the win against your rivals and also your senior night.
I mean, it just means the world to us. Like, just coming out here and playing a full 60-minute game like that and all just coming together and flowing as a team and coming out with a game like that, there's no better feeling in the world. Labrizi?
Yeah, this is such a great group to play with, and we just have a lot of fun out there, and when we're having fun, we really can't be beat. So I'm just really grateful to end my senior year with this group.
And it's been a long season for you guys. I mean, you've had a lot of home games, a lot of road games. I was talking to Coach Mura about how Kentucky was kind of a long haul for you guys. So looking forward to the playoffs, how bittersweet is it as your final kind of playoff run?
You know, it definitely is bittersweet, right? Just knowing that this is the last time I'll ever play in front of our fans, it definitely hurts inside, but to end it like that, like, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, I think we're really excited for playoffs. This was a really big confidence boost for us. I think we have a really good opportunity to make some noise in playoffs with the first year in the league, so we're really excited.
So going into the playoffs, what's your guys' message? We talked about how momentum is such a huge thing in hockey, and especially for your playoff push, you guys get a little bit of rest, but you're back at it.
A lot of it for our team is honestly just feeling like we are together, right? When we're out there and we feel like a team and we're having fun and the forwards and the defensemen are working together real well, we don't lose those games, right? So that's the most important thing for us moving into playoffs. And this game was a great one to push the ball forward for us.
Yeah, I think we can really build off this game and have a good week of practice this week, make sure we're doing things right and having good habits, and be ready to go for the weekend.
Well, it's been a great time, especially for Chris and I, to cover you guys this past season, and congratulations on your shutout, and congratulations on just an awesome season by you and the rest of your team. Chris and I will be back after this.
I would never show my teeth. Would never smile. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's gonna take what you have to say seriously. Invisalign has changed my life forever.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens. Or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons. Hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese.
Sorry. Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Happy birthday, Max.
Yes! I'm Joe on the phone, here to show you 4 easy ways to stay safe online. Come on.
We can secure our world. When you choose your passwords, make them strong. Use a password manager to help you along. But don't just use a password alone. Get a call, get a text, or a code on your phone.
MFA really works.
We can secure our world. When it's time to update an app, don't you hesitate. Do it ASAP.
Just like that.
Watch out for offers too good to be true. What? It's probably someone trying to take advantage of you.
Hey, that's fishy.
Let's report it.
Install updates, make better passwords. Think before you click, use multiple factors. That's how we can secure our world.
Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
For each life moment, your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. Your kids may be eligible now, even if you've applied before. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Get started now at insurekidsnow.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Chris Lehman and Grace Mottau back with you as we wrap up our season of broadcasting here at Invisalign Arena. NC State 4-0 winners on senior night over the North Carolina Tar Heels. Got to give a big thank you to our production crew here this weekend and throughout the course of the season. We've had great camera crew. We've had a great crew behind the scenes making sure that everything works out smoothly for us here, and of course our on-air talent as well. My partner Grace here with us. We've got Nick remoting in with us as well. He's been watching here on senior night. A big thank you to him, even though he wasn't able to be here with us tonight. But it has been a fantastic season, and none of it would be possible without everybody that you see on camera and behind the camera as well. And as you can see, we've had head coach Tim Healy join us here.
Yeah, I know you guys are wrapping up, but it would be remiss if I didn't get up here and, while you're busy thanking everyone, thanking you, both of you, and really the whole crew at Pack TV. We even had people coming down from visiting us from out of state to learn of what we do. You guys every single year just continue to elevate us, and there's no one better in the business than everyone we have here. So, my thanks to you guys, and as always, go Pack. And it's a great week to be part of the Wolfpack Nation, isn't it, right now?
Absolutely. I appreciate all the kind words. It's certainly a privilege for us as well to be here and do these games. But for your team, big win tonight on senior night, so it must feel good as well.
It has been. We've had the last few senior nights haven't gone so well, and I think really for Isaac, he's talked about that a lot. And so for him to come out, and we can say it now, it's over to get a shutout. And Isaac's a fifth-year senior. Some people take 5 years for different reasons. He took his because he's an incredible student, leaving with 2 degrees. But his last game against North Carolina, his freshman year, was a shutout in the ACC championship. And the last time he faces them in his senior year, also a shutout. So great bookends for him and his career.
Well, it has been a fantastic night for the Ice Pack. 4-0 winners over the Tar Heels. That'll do it for us here at Invisalign Arena. We'll see you next fall.
Go Pack.